Oh, Angela.
Yes.
Guess what?
What?
I didn't include you. We're live, but not with you. Don't ask me why. 'Cause I don't know. There you are. Looking fabulous. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday to you.
What's your vibe? Can you tell me about your vibe today?
I did some cleaning today. The dog is drinking.
The dog is ringing
Loudly.
the bell. That's the sound of our dog drinking. Happy Monday. Tanner's here. Drinking down the, what do you say? The Nike hit the road about an hour ago. Oh, driving down. Nice. You can see my eyes aren't working very well tonight.
It is
fact,
NKE.
I guess that's the new New York something or other. I don't know.
Hit the road about an hour ago. Don't text while you drive, Tanner.
You know what they say. Oh, man, have I seen enough horror stories about that?
Mm-hmm. Don't do it.
Holy crap. So Delicate's here. Hello, Delicate. So great to see you. And Lee is here, and Erica. And Guilty Angel. Hello, Guilty Angel. Sorry, I'm kind of screwing up a little bit with all this. Hang on one sec. Good to see you, Angela.
Hello.
Angela's here. Shannon is here. Hello, Shannon.
Hey, Dale.
What?
Do you know how long humans have been, like, in our present human form? Do you know how many, like, thousands of years?
I don't.
Millions of years?
I don't know exactly, like, Homo sapiens. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure, but it's like six figures, right?
Is that what we are?
It's like
Homo sapiens?
Yeah, we're Homo sapiens. And I think, like, like a few 100,000 years, if I'm not mistaken. I don't even know. I'm excited for Tanner, man. Tanner's making a move, bro. I want to make a move.
Yeah.
And he's going to a place that he's like super excited about. I want to make a move to some place that I'm super excited about. Tanner, I'm going to live vicariously through you, my friend.
I wonder what prompted the move, but I don't want to ask Tanner directly because he's driving and he's not supposed to text while he drives.
No, he's supposed to listen.
He's supposed to
listen.
listen.
This is for your listening pleasure.
So I'm just going to
only.
continue wondering, and I don't want you to answer any of our questions, Tanner. You're
Me and
forbidden.
Tanner got a ball game going on right now in a series. Tanner is a New York Mets fan.
Are you watching the ball game right now?
Philadelphia Phillies fan. I am a Philadelphia Phillies fan.
You're sports barring our live tonight. You're with us, but you're also with us with the sports.
I don't know that I'll probably run out of batteries before.
Oh, that's a drag. You should make sure that doesn't happen. Can you imagine?
Before the score is up, but I'll
Can
at
you
least catch
imagine running out of your?
I'll have a feel for who's winning. Voice chat. I stop at Walmart. I need a second.
Ratchet strap. Your voice chat doesn't know how to spell ratchet.
Yeah, voice chat. I got a friend who uses voice chat. That's what he uses. I mean, I don't think he doesn't type anymore. It's come to that.
But can you tell? Because
yes.
Spells wonky.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it's not like, it's good. It's good. It's actually more his personality than, although like I've hung out with him at times and he's been like, I think he says the punctuation and it's very funny.
That is funny.
I think if you pause long enough, you get the period or you get the punctuation. I don't know.
Yeah, or you just leave it out and people will understand what you mean.
The only AI I'm using right now is in my editing software. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I know. I think it's kind of unavoidable. Like you can try to avoid using AI everywhere, but it's going to get foisted on you no matter what.
Bombing just showed up. Good evening, Bombing.
Howdy, gang. Howdy to you.
So good to see you guys. Excited to see you guys. So yes, where were you?
Where was I?
Yeah, where were you? What did you just say?
Fell bombing said howdy gang.
Yes.
And I don't know that there's many gangs that say howdy. Maybe in the South. Can you imagine having a gang and like your gang sign
is
it's like a lasso?
It's like
that's your gang sign.
Round them up, boys. Take them out back. Demon Child has arrived.
What ho, chaps and chapses. Chappases?
Chappases. Chappases.
That is the vibe.
That is the vibe.
Definitely.
What's your vibe? You're feeling good, right?
I am. I'm a little bit like, I rushed to get here. So I
did?
still feel a little
Verklempt?
like I need to gather myself.
Scattered?
Yes.
Well, I'm sorry that you feel scattered.
I'll get
You
better.
look great.
Thank you.
Glad to
I feel a little sweaty.
be on your side of things.
What are we talking about today?
Well, the first thing I'm going to say is I've been avoiding a story for a very long time, but I'm happy about it because I've been avoiding the story because it's a very disturbing story to me. But there was a San Bernardino couple implicated in the murder of a child, and this child was, it hit me hard. This story, I just couldn't handle it
Why?
because it's like severe child abuse. And
Yes, but that wasn't how it started.
no, but what happened was the child went missing. The parents spoke about the child in past tense. Everyone was immediately suspicious.
That's not what happened. It's even worse than that.
All right, then
The child didn't go missing.
No, it was
Nobody
kidnapped. I
reported
understand.
the child missing. They figured out that it was missing longer than it had been missing. But the first report was the woman said, "My child has been kidnapped." She said, I pulled up into a store parking lot and I went into the back seat to change
Yes.
the baby,
Yeah,
7-month-old son.
Right.
And she said that somebody conked her on the back of the head, and she fell on the ground, and when she came to, the baby was gone.
Right.
And that's what she told authorities.
Yes.
And then they had this really tearful press conference where they
it was
were
a
telling everybody.
performative tearful because there was no
Yeah.
actual tears.
Well, they kept referring to the child in the past tense.
Yes.
Both parents did that.
They both did it.
She said that she was the only one at the scene of the crime, the kidnapping. But both parents referred to the child in the past tense, and her crying seemed like not real. I don't know. I mean, people grieve differently. So I would never say that somebody is doing something wrong or off.
It was
because they're
suspicious, and
grieving.
you can be suspicious. Somebody.
She also had a bruise on her eye that looked very old that she apparently claimed was from that incident, but it was definitely not a fresh bruise. Anyway.
So
the investigators first interviewed them and said that that the story wasn't matching up, that there were inconsistencies in their story. And that's when everybody started to dig into their past. And it turned out that the husband had prior child abuse charges.
So he was a severe abuser. We don't need to get into it. It's too intense. Needless to say that the amount of abuse that he inflicted on infants was so severe that it ended up taking one's life. And so he is now in custody in San Bernardino, and so was the mother.
It hasn't been
bail.
determined how the kid lost his life, but there's photos of the kid when he was much younger, and he looked incredibly different, developmentally, when he's a little bit older. So the last photos of the kid were he looked like he had what people are describing as shaken baby syndrome, which is basically brain damage from abuse. And the difference between the early baby pictures of this kid and the later baby pictures.
We don't need to get into it. We really don't.
I'm sorry, you brought it up. I'm not sure.
I did
where
bring it up,
I'm
but I don't think we need to. The only thing I brought up is that it makes me very happy to know that the guy's in jail. He was a severe child abuser. We can say that. He abused children all the way until taking their lives. It wasn't the first child that he has abused, and it will be the last. So, sadly, a child had to. And part of the reason why I want to bring it up is this took place in California, and it's just such a failure of the system. He did have he had a previous conviction for which he served time, but yet there he is fathering
with a new family,
another child with a new family, and the child before that, the child before he harmed this child so badly, it's now in the care of a sister-in-law or something like that, but a sort of, a removed relative, once removed type relative, anyway, who adopted this child who will need care for the rest of her life because of similarly a shaken baby syndrome. The damage was so bad that this child is literally incapable of taking care of herself for the rest of her life. So it's just the most upsetting and egregious form of child abuse I've really ever seen. It's so disturbing. I can't hear any details beyond the fact that we can go over the overview and say this was a monster beyond comprehension.
Yeah, it is a failure of the system that he was allowed to do this to another kid.
But that he was able to get his hands on another child is just the most absolutely bizarre thing to happen. It's so bizarre. So it's a little upsetting in that regard. But on the other hand, he's off the streets, and he's not in And there was another child in his midst, older, but still another child.
As a crime investigation goes, it's so interesting. I've always been fascinated by like very obvious crimes where the people who are responsible are trying to pretend the whole time and get everybody on board with like their weird alibis that never really line up.
Yeah.
And the very first interview with the investigators are like, that's not true. That didn't happen.
I mean, it was a mess, and apparently they found a bunch of blood in the residence.
Yeah, they also have like she said that it happened in a store parking lot, and there's like a bunch of other stores around with security cameras.
Yeah.
So what are they thinking?
I'm just so excited that he's caught.
I wonder what's going to happen though. Now
I hope there's some conversation about why this happened again. Like, I hope that's the big conversation out of this thing, is that they want to, like, I would want to know, why did this monster have another child? Why is that? How is that possible? Like, they take away the licenses of those who drive drunk.
It's tough though, because it's one of those like slippery slope arguments where you can't have the state determining who gets to have a family and who doesn't.
It is such a slippery slope.
Like, you can't like let the state decide.
Well, you can decide whether or not he gets to keep it. And the state can intervene immediately. So if that person is unfit for rearing children, but can't stop making them, the state can still get a hold of those children and get them out of that house before the first abuse happens. This person, was obviously just unbelievably like out of his mind, but there was something wrong with him, to not only inflict that kind of damage, but that damage was clearly, I think, I shouldn't say clearly, but it seems as though that damage was because these kids were driving him crazy. Fucking shut up kind of stuff.
I think that's usually how it happens.
Terrifying.
That they can't stand the sound of crying or something.
Right. So the solution to the problem is to take the child. That a child was in his midst is what should be legally allowed to be prevented when he nearly killed another child. Just barely does that child live today. And honestly, it would have probably been mercy for it to have not survived.
Wow.
I'm saying, I mean, the child is in absolutely staggering shape. It's so heart-wrenching to see this child.
I was really surprised. This is the first time I've ever heard shaken baby syndrome come into like a crime discussion. Like a lot of true crime podcasters and stuff. There's even one in that town that we've been following where she's following all the details closely, and she can actually go to the locations. Well, I've never heard of shaken baby syndrome happening in a true crime case, and I just didn't think it was very common. But there's a ton of like registered nurses and doctors who are showing up and talking about what it looks like, how they've seen it, what are the circumstances. And I just can't believe that that's something that occurs very often. I don't know, man. It's fucking sick.
If a father or a mother is found to be abusive to their children, the children are all taken out of that house. And so this man was already convicted and on probation. He was on a 4-year probation.
Do you think that that's why they tried to cover up the crime? Because he's on probation?
Well, I mean, they killed somebody. They don't want to go to jail for the rest of their lives.
No. What I'm saying is like, so, okay, there's a accidental death and you don't call the authorities and like claim that it happened from some other reason, because children under 1 year old, they don't have like the greatest survival rate. There's a bunch of things that could happen. Like
SIDS or whatever.
Yeah, right. Like, so I'm surprised that they didn't try to cover up the crime when it happened and instead came up with this like really strange kidnapping story. Don't you think that's weird?
I no, because I think that the child, the damage to the child would show that it's not SIDS. You know what I mean? Like,
do you think they were just paranoid about his probation?
Impossible to know. I don't know. What I know is that they lied about it. They tried to get out of it, like most criminals. They try to get out of the crimes they commit, and it didn't work. And I'm so fucking glad.
What's just so awful is that she had the whole community like looking around for a kidnapper, scared of a kidnapper.
I mean, yes and no.
Yeah,
there was a very small, maybe there was a very small fraction of people who were like, what? We have to find this person. And then everybody else was like, nah, she said was.
She said he was a nice baby.
She said, my child was. And there's just a 0% chance that ever comes out of my mouth. I just, on this live spoke of David Lynch in the living tense, you know what I mean?
Because he still lives for you?
Well, it's just sometimes I have a hard time still, recognizing the man's not on the earth. It would probably be a lot more obvious if I had known him.
I think for him especially, you can just call him continuing to live because he is still with us, I think. Just in another...
Yeah, it's very special. And,
in a spooky way.
Very metaphysical of you.
Yeah, I think he would like that.
Very new agey. Let's do it. You want me to do a quick ohm for everyone?
Demon Child 1977 said, "This is quite the opening."
Sorry.
I too am surprised that Dale brought this up as our
first topic. I didn't want to go on for a long time. I'm glad they caught this guy, and I'm glad he's gone. In a not surprising move in the Blake Lively case, we'll move on. In a not surprising move on the Blake Lively case, I think I brought it up because I wanted to know. I think I want to put out the vibe that there has to be some kind of remedy to this kind of a problem. And the problem being that somebody once convicted of such severe abuse should never be in the company of a child ever again in his or her life, even if they reproduce. They take children away from abusive family members all the time. And that's why I'm bringing it up.
I totally agree with you, but I feel like there are limits in the law about what you can and can't involve yourself in your life. Like,
yeah, I understand.
You're not allowed to be around children, but you have a family and family members who have kids. So are you like barred from family gatherings or something? Like what? Like how far does it extend? It's just
maybe it has to be. I
don't know that the state can even mandate anything like that.
Dumb idea. What can I do? Nothing. All right.
It would be ideally it'd be a good thing, but I don't know.
Blake Lively. Let's go to openings people appreciate. Blake Lively. So not a lot going on in that department, but they did file motions to compel, not surprisingly, against Mr. Wallace.
Yes.
Because he has not produced anything since December 20th. That is the last time that he has produced any correspondence. And what's interesting about their filing, one of the things they exposed that I found curious for sure, is that he had claimed that they'd moved conversations to Signal, but he had produced conversations from Signal also. So he said on the one hand that the Signal conversations were automatically deleted, but on the other hand actually provided conversations.
I remember this.
But that were Signal conversations. So,
did the lawyers ever explain?
Like, well, are they deleted or are they not deleted?
Right.
Are you selectively deleting these upon our request, for example? So they're asking the judge to, I guess, see that and perhaps whatever else might be more. Whatever can give them the kind of information they need.
Do you know what happens if they keep just stonewalling the discovery process? Like, obviously, he's in text messages where people are discussing him, Jed Wallace.
Yeah.
All the other publicists are like, oh, he's doing such a great job. We just heard from him. He's, credit to him and his team. Well, obviously, he must be reporting things like this. So, like, if he is saying that it's all deleted and sorry, guys, I don't have anything like that, like, what is the judge able to do?
Sanction, I guess. I think you can even go as far as to hold people in contempt, but probably not people outside of your jurisdiction. So he's not going to be able to probably hold anyone in contempt in Nevada. But I don't know, sanctions. He could potentially impose sanctions. It's definitely a great question. I wish I had a legal buddy to answer it.
You need a legal buddy.
Can I get a legal buddy over here, please? Hello, legal buddy. So yeah. That's the biggest chunk of news in the Blake Lively world today. Very slow day. I did think we should, and I mentioned this in our comments, continue our conversation about all the alleged things that Blake Lively has done wrong. We only covered 2 of them.
There's so many.
And there's a bunch of things that they talk about.
There's so many.
And there are things that she did do wrong, that we can talk about.
No, I know.
Like actual things she did wrong.
My favorite thing is pointing out to people that everything that they allege that she did wrong happened like before the facts in this case.
by a lot. But no, there are things she did. That's not true, because there are things that they bring up that she did wrong within the movie, for sure. For example, and I've brought this up many times, and I still am agitated by it, but, she's the one who stood on that fucking red carpet, flapping her fucking lips and telling reporters.
Flapping her lips, Dale.
Well, what's wrong with that?
That's what we do.
Yeah, but we're podcasters, man. She's on what I'm saying, Angela, is that she's on the red carpet and she's telling people that her husband rewrote the most beloved scene in the movie, and the writer didn't know about it. And so the writer's on the red carpet, and she hears about this and is completely caught off guard because she did not know that Ryan Reynolds wrote the scene. That was the first anyone had heard about it. As a matter of fact, it was such a shock to everybody that the very next day, Sony sent a letter to clarify copyright and to get signatures.
Yeah.
So
Sony was like,
it was a big deal.
It was the one time that Sony actually was concerned about signatures. That whole time that Jamie Heath was trying to give Blake Lively the ultimatum, where he's like, you have to sign your contract or else you get no more time in the editing bay. And Sony showed up and was like, hey, Heath, why don't you cool off on the signature rhetoric? We're trying to get her more time in the editing bay and a bunch of other stuff that Lively's been offering. So why don't you cool it with your ultimatums? We're trying to do business. But Sony actually did care about the signature when it came to Ryan Reynolds' work.
Well, of course they did, because copyright is such a big deal.
Yeah.
If somebody has a copyright claim and you're out and distributing and gaining profits, you've exposed yourself immensely. So it was a big deal. It was a big problem. But the real violation there was that she did this to this writer. If I was a writer on a project and somebody came in and said that somebody rewrote my scene, well, first of all, look, it goes kind of shows you what writers go through. Just so people know, like, it's not that she's necessarily a bad writer. Like, I read her scene that she, for the slow dance scene, and it is, not very good writing. But the thing is that it's probably just undeveloped writing. In fact, I would say it most definitely is. The problem is that WGA has, the collective bargaining agreement has minimums for each draft, right? And whatever allowable revisions exist within it, and it's not a lot. So writers, producers can't really afford to pay writers to do what I would do normally on a spec script. So if I'm writing my own spec script, like what makes writer-directors such a powerful combo is because they can just sit there and write on their own. It's spec, and then you can just buy them on spec without having to adhere to all the WGA rules to do with revisions and all that being a major expense to the studio. So the result of all of this is pretty poorly written television and film.
Do you think that it was a time issue? Or do you think that that Justin Baldoni optioned the book and then they needed to turn it around into a script real fast? Then they wanted to produce it.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's both of those are at play. I think everyone wants it in a timely manner, but I think the real problem is that, you don't want to be several $100,000 into a screenplay before you even shoot it, unless you're buying it in a bidding war or because, you've got like a world-class writer on it. But even world-class writers, the first draft of everything is shit. And there's almost no writer out there that's an exception to. I mean,
even of an
there's
adapted
different classes of shit, but
even of an adapted screenplay, you think?
For sure. I mean, if not more so. You're breaking down, maybe 100,000 words. In my case, 170,000 words into 20. So it's quite the shrinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they also had to consolidate a lot, I think, because like I've been listening to the audiobook of It Ends With Us, and it really goes back into young Lily's like flashbacks,
Yeah.
really often. And so the screenwriter probably had to reorganize a bunch of that stuff so that the young Lily sequence is just one place, and it's
By the way,
all together.
we are going to read for you tonight. By we, I mean Angela, is going to read for you tonight the excerpt out of the book that is young Lily's that controversial scene.
Yeah, should we just get into that?
Yeah, do you guys want to do that? Sure. So
okay, so here's what I was thinking. I was like, okay, Justin Baldoni is being accused of being like too creative with his he wrote like
let me say
off
that.
the cuff, apparently he wrote a sex scene between young Lily and young Atlas in the movie It Ends With Us. And it was noted as one of the complaints in Blake Lively's lawsuit. Do you want to take it?
No, good. That's right.
Okay. And Blake Lively was saying that he did even though she wasn't on set that day and she didn't experience it, she had heard that he was making really kind of lewd remarks to the two actors, and that he also tried to do a simulated sex scene, which apparently, according to Justin Baldoni's lawsuit, does not violate young Lily's nudity rider, but Blake Lively feels like it violated hers. So that's something that they're going to hash out in the lawsuit. But I was like, okay, well, what is the scene in the book? Because Justin Baldoni has been trying to like stay true to the book. Like, I don't know if you guys.
I mean, the accusation was from Blake Lively. She said very plainly that Justin Baldoni added to this scene in a way that was entirely inappropriate.
Yes.
And what's really important about this is that when you're about to read the book, and in the book, Colleen Hoover clearly avoids any actual sexuality or sexual exchange or whatever, any intercourse whatsoever. There's no penetration. There's nothing going on.
It's not a sex scene.
And the screenwriter did the same thing.
And this, I haven't read the screenplay. I don't know what's in the screenplay, but I'm assuming that because Colleen Hoover decided like, hey, these are teenagers, maybe I shouldn't write teenage sex scene in the book, right?
The important distinction that I'm trying to make here is that both women. You know, Justin Baldoni spoke about the female gaze, the female gaze, the female gaze. He says it over and over and over and over and over again ad nauseum. And yet, when he was given the book wherein the female gaze did not have anything to do with the actual sexual act of her losing her virginity, that was not in the book, and it was not in the screenplay, and yet he put it in as a revision of his own. And not surprisingly, it was offensive to somebody. And I think that's the important distinction here before you go and you read to really set this thing up, is that, you know, this is like he had, you know, two adaptations, or one, the original, and then the adaptation. Neither of those women chose to get into details of the loss of her virginity, this young Lily.
That's also a thing that's not
it's
really...
It's just perverse that this man wants to get into it.
That's also a thing that's not really featured in the book. I don't know if he failed to notice, but the women that are writing this story, including Colleen Hoover, did not center virginity situation. Because it's not typically something that women fucking care about. It's like a total patriarchal construct. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, it's in her book.
And I'm sorry?
It's in her book.
You want to know what's in her book?
Well, no, I'm saying like there's a moment in her book, right? It's not emphasized.
Did I read this to you already? Let's read it. Okay. The context is, this is a flashback told. So all of the flashbacks in It Ends With Us is young Lily's talking. She's basically doing diary entries where she's addressing all of her diary entries to, they're called letters to Ellen, because she's addressing them to Ellen DeGeneres. I don't know. It's a weird thing that this author decided to do. It's kind of cute. But anyway, so this is her telling the story. I guess where to pick it up. This is where young Atlas, they go to school together. They ride the school bus together. Okay. This is how teenagers they are. Okay.
Yep.
So they ride the school bus together, and then he had to leave home, and then he's been staying in the abandoned house next to her. And so she found out about him. She saw him creeping around over there, and then brought him food, and then they developed a friendship, and she's been letting him stay over in her warm house through the winter. And he is going to go off to the military. And this is the last night before he leaves. I didn't even try to get him to change his mind that night. I feel like we have the kind of connection that even the fires of hell couldn't sever. I feel like he could go spend his time in the military and I'll spend my years being a teenager, and then it'll all fall back into place when the timing is right. I'm going to make a promise to you, he said. When my life is good enough for you to be a part of it, I'll come find you. But I don't want you to wait around for me because that might never happen. I didn't like that promise because it meant one of two things. Either he thought he might never make it out of the military alive, or he didn't think his life would ever be good enough for me. His life was already good enough for me, but I nodded my head and forced a smile. If you don't come back for me, I'll come for you, and it won't be pretty, Atlas Corrigan. He laughed at my threat. Well, it won't be too hard to find me. You know exactly where I'll be. I smiled. Where everything is better? He smiled. In Boston. And then he kissed me. Ellen, because that's who she addresses her diary to. I know you're an adult, and I know all about, and you know all about what comes next, but I still don't feel comfortable telling you what happened over those next couple hours. Let's just say we both kissed a lot. We both laughed a lot. We both loved a lot. We both breathed a lot. And we both had to cover our mouths and be as quiet and still as we could so we wouldn't get caught. When we were finished, he held me against him, skin to skin, hand to heart. He kissed me and looked me straight in the eyes. I love you, Lily. Everything you are, I love you. And then she continues. That is what amounts to a sex scene between them. She literally says, when we were finished, he held me against him, skin to skin, hand to heart. Why couldn't he just pick up there? A lot of movies do this, where you just see two people undercovers in bed, shirtless, and you're like, "Oh, okay."
Unless you're like,
I know what just happened.
To appeal to that sort of subgenre, I suppose, or whatever.
And so
you wouldn't. Why would you have anything more than that?
Why would you have anything more than that? I don't understand this. They're teenagers.
Now, instead, what Baldoni did was he had the moment of penetration. He had the moment where she reacted, where she, I guess.
He talks about how upset he is that Blake Lively is editing out the gasp.
Right.
He talks to his editors about the gasp. That's how he refers to it because it matters so much to him. What the fuck?
His vision.
They're teenagers.
What
the fuck?
And didn't he say something like that was hot or something afterwards? Or
yeah, well, this is, let's see, young. Let me just search.
Like after they shot it? The chat is absolutely dead. Are you guys there? Did I totally fuck up this live or something? Come back to me.
Okay, so this is what happened according to Blake Lively. Do you want me to read it?
Yeah.
Paragraph 91 in her amended complaint. Mr. Baldoni added a detailed scene to the film in which the underage version of Miss Lively's character, Lily, loses her virginity. In both the book and the script for the film, there was no sex scene. Okay, so that settles it. There was no sex scene in the script. Instead, the details about this moment were left to the audience's imagination. But Mr. Baldoni added in considerable details, which was particularly concerning to Miss Lively given Mr. Baldoni's other behavior and directorial choices as detailed in this complaint. These additional details included both dialogue between young Lily and her boyfriend Atlas about the loss of her virginity, so he added dialogue about it.
Yeah.
As well as a simulated sex scene in which Mr. Baldoni filmed and included in his initial cut of the film a brief close-up of young Lily's face accompanied by an audible gasp at the moment of penetration. Miss Lively was informed that when the scene was shot after Mr. Baldoni called cut, he walked over to the actors and said, I know I'm not supposed to say this, but that was hot. And did you two practice this before?
Holy fuck, is that out of control?
Okay.
That's just so out of control.
So I was like, okay, so the guy is also accused. Let me see what she says about this.
I'm gonna read maybe I'll read something from my book since it's a slow day. Just because since there's a lot of inappropriate shit going on, there's a nice little inappropriate scene I can read that happened on my set. That wouldn't be too horrendous. Or would it be? I guess it might be a little much for YouTube, right? Is it?
What's too much? I mean, obviously everything.
Tobey Maguire moment on set.
Okay, here it is.
Is that too candid?
I was just looking for something. Should I continue or not?
Yeah, please do.
Paragraph 96 in Blake Lively's complaint said, Mr. Baldoni and Mr. Heath often spoke of their previous pornography addiction.
Oh, we got to talk about this.
Mr. Baldoni would often reference pornography to Miss Lively. Hoping to shut the subject down, she asked him privately. Sorry, she she said to him privately that she had never seen it. Later, when Mr. Baldoni was once again referencing his experiences with pornography, he revealed in front of other cast and crew that Miss Lively had never seen porn. It was an incredible invasion of her privacy to discuss any aspect of her intimate life with the cast and crew, much less reveal something that she had only told Mr. Baldoni to try and get him to stop talking about the subject with her. And so here we have a guy who's very open and vocal about his porn addiction, not seeing that there might be some sort of issue with him creating a sex scene out of nowhere where there's a close-up on a teenager's face. I don't understand why this guy doesn't recognize who he says he is.
Because he's
I don't
not.
fucking get it.
Because he's not who he says he is. Because he's been lying. Because all of this has all been an opportunity to make money. That's all it ever was. He did his man enough talk.
But why is he telling everybody about his porn addiction? And then he feels like it's fine for somebody. If he feels like he has a real problem, why does he feel like he should indulge that side of him, that aspect, whatever this is that he's struggling with, trying to control, whatever, by creating a sex scene between two teenagers in his movie that didn't exist in the book and didn't exist in the script?
Yeah, because he's a perv. So let's go.
He's a perv.
He's a pervert. I mean, come on. That's why you do it. You're a pervert, dude. This movie is not like, listen, if you have an appropriate movie for something like that, if you're Lars von Trier, if you're Gaspar Noé, if you're like Michael Haneke, if you're doing something artistically that involves, if you're Sean Baker, if you're doing something artistically that involves this kind of behavior, then by all means have at it. You know what I mean? That's totally cool. He was making It Ends With Us. He was making a movie that had nothing to do with that topic at all, even thematically. It was brushed off in the book as a matter of just dealing with the character's history.
I thought that the way that Colleen Hoover wrote that was really eloquent. I was like, okay, this girl isn't in her own diary, doesn't even want to say. That makes so much sense, and it gives the writer a pass for not saying. Mm-hmm. She didn't want to go into details describing because she's a young girl, and Colleen Hoover is an adult woman. And everybody that's involved in writing this is showing Baldoni what the female gaze is and how the female gaze would deal with this subject and this topic and this thing that happened, this event.
Yeah.
But he just ignores it. And he's like, you know what? What I want to see is a sex scene.
Yeah, the guy's gross about it. Like, it's the idea that he, like, on the one hand would say, I want, that this movie comes from the female gaze is the most important thing to him. And then on the other hand, literally deny the female gaze.
Yeah.
Like literally walk away from the female gaze and then film something that he, if these reports are true, that he would later, really speak about in really the most misogynistic way you could, or the most sexualized way you could, right? Which would, if you're talking about sexualizing this situation, you're going to call that a male gaze, right? That's probably not a female gaze situation. Females don't spend a lot of time sexualizing the loss of virginity among teenagers, and didn't in the book or in the screenplay. So this is why I would immediately call that a male gaze. He had two female gazes.
So fucking weird. What a weird fucking choice. And it's so weird because also there's that controversy about him asking about Blake Lively's weight because he wanted to lift her. Well, there's a couple scenes in the book where he lifts Lily, the character Ryle, picks Lily up and carries her around. But it's like he's not interested in like rewriting those scenes where it really wouldn't matter and nobody would really notice.
Yeah.
Maybe some diehard fans of the book would be like, "Hey, where's that scene I liked?" But there'd be like a bunch of others that are cut too, But in this case, so he didn't want to touch that. He wanted to make sure that he did lift her, and he had to make sure that she lost weight so he could lift her.
Yeah.
But in this, he didn't want to stick to the book at all. He wanted to completely elaborate and create something different and new.
Yeah, I mean, it's a stretch for me to like, you can pick. Filmmakers are going to pick things anyway, whatever. It's cool, but the idea that he didn't know immediately that he wasn't going to do that after meeting her for the role,
I know,
is where I think the problem lies. The problem isn't just that he said it. The problem is, why did he say it? That's the problem. The problem is, why are you saying it?
Why did he say what?
Why did he talk about her weight? Why did he even go in that direction? He met the woman. He knows.
I know.
The reason why he's inquiring is because he's not so sure. And if he's not so sure, surely telling him the weight isn't going to sway that doubt.
I really think it was all about he was like, I will look hot in this movie if I pick up the lead actress and carry her around. So I must pick up the lead actress and carry her around.
Yeah.
I think that's all the decision making was.
This person Betty is here, who is clearly not, who's like, I guess, a Baldoni fan. I don't know how to categorize her, but anyway, she's talking a lot about him in the comments that she's made. And one of them was that she said that Blake and Ryan were rewriting the rooftop scene during the writer's strike, and that makes Ryan a scab. The Writers Guild of America has thrown members of its union out of the union who violated those strike rules. If Ryan Reynolds had violated those strike rules, and I'm going to guess that they investigated that, then they would have thrown him out like they did everybody else. And I promise you that they would have. When I made the film Don's Plum with Leonardo DiCaprio, we didn't go SAG. SAG could have thrown Leonardo DiCaprio out of the union, and little did we know, because I didn't at the time of being a part of that decision to not do it. I didn't know that I was putting him and the other actors in jeopardy of losing their status as members. So, they were either on a waiver, or what you're saying isn't true, or what they're saying isn't true. I'm not sure where you're getting.
Also, if the line that you draw is whether somebody's a scab or not, and that makes them a bad person, Justin Baldoni in his own complaint, one of the allegations that he throws around is that Blake Lively delayed his production and created a bunch of problems because she was not willing to cross the picket line, but he and his production were. That he was willing to, but she stopped everybody from doing it.
Yeah.
So if that's... There's only one person in the story who's actually interested in making sure that the strike rules are abided by.
Yeah, there's a couple of things here too, because she says, this person says, the lawsuit shows how money and power can corrupt the legal system. Well, Steve Sarowitz is a billionaire. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, he said he was going to spend...
in a network of billionaires, like, I guarantee you that this guy...
He said he was going to spend $100 million burying Blake Lively.
He's worth more than Blake Lively and...
Ryan Reynolds.
And Ryan Reynolds put together, if he's a billionaire. If he's in fact a billionaire, then he's worth more than both of them. Ryan Reynolds is not yet a billionaire. So they got more money on their side. At least that's what at least on paper, they have more money. So I don't know, man. I mean, do I think that that money and power corrupt the legal system? I absolutely do. Do I believe that Blake Lively's money and power is corrupting the legal system in this case? I don't. I don't think they need it. I think they've got like an easy slam dunk case on this. You have what you just read. You have Justin Baldoni now twice, or maybe now 3 times. Well, no, I guess multiple times now, clearly making genuine effort to disparage and to malign Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, in the press and among the crew and others involved in the film. So we have yet to see any evidence of Blake Lively doing any kind of thing like that with anybody. We don't hear her talking. There aren't texts of her disparaging Justin Baldoni yet. I haven't seen any of you. No,
she is complaining about a harsh workplace.
Right.
She is talking about how these guys are making it very difficult to continue to go to work every day.
Yeah.
That she's telling her friends, she's complaining about the hostility and the discomfort of working with them. But she's not disparaging them. And she's certainly not disparaging them to her publicist. We have so much evidence of him trying to come up with inventive ways to attack Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, and like brainstorming these things with the publicists. Yeah. And publicists just aren't supposed to be able to do that. Like they avoid doing that sort of thing just because they'll be liable for civil lawsuits if they do. Defamation, retaliation, harassment, all of these things.
Seriously, like damaging stuff. This person also says, like, where's the proof of SH?
Oh, Justin Baldoni admits it. So you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, there's so much proof of SH, because it's not about whether or not SH happened, because I don't know if you know this, because it sounds like by your question that you don't. SH is not some kind of like major like offense necessarily. SH is a very subjective thing, and all it requires is a complaint for it to be a registered situation. And they did, we know, as a matter of evidence. And your guy, Justin Baldoni, admits to it, that they did receive these complaints.
On page 33 of his timeline exhibit, you guys can go see for yourself. He outlines it before then, but on page 33 is a really nice summary. He admits that Blake Lively got all of the producers together and complained to them formally so that she could let everybody know that she's got an issue and these things need to change. Okay, this was on June 1st. This was after the first month of their filming, right? So way early on the filming production.
Early, yeah.
And he admits in his own filing, Justin Baldoni admits that he called her sexy and that she didn't appreciate that language being spoken to her like that. He admits that Jamie Heath went over and showed her unsolicited, didn't ask whether she wanted to see it or not, but showed her what was a nude image of his wife in a birthing pool. And that was the day after that might have been relevant to any conversation they were having about the birthing scene. So I guess he was just trying to win an argument.
And just to interject, people, I think, struggle with this because they don't understand what SH really is. It's not, that doesn't mean that he was trying to advance on her. It doesn't mean that he was trying to sleep with her or to see her naked, which these, the latter had occurred at least once. It can just be that there's offending material. It doesn't even actually have to be happening to Blake Lively. In this case,
I know.
In this case, it did, but it doesn't.
The third one that Justin Baldoni admits to in his own filing on page 33 of his timeline exhibit, he talks about how Jamie Heath looked directly at her when he was told to turn around and avoid looking at her while she was undressed in her trailer. And this is just from the Civil Rights Department sexual harassment fact sheet. This just clarifies what every employer is mandated to do whenever a sexual harassment complaint comes up, regardless of whether the complaint seems serious enough or even valid, whatever. Apologizing for it, like Justin Baldoni did, is not one of the options. Minimizing it and dismissing it is not one of the options.
No, of course not.
He has to follow a very, very clear, very simple, but very clear protocol but from the Civil Rights Department, or else he is in violation of the law. And as an employer, he needs to understand and know that. And I don't know why they shirk their responsibility, but that is why they're in this position. The Civil Rights Department sexual harassment fact sheet. There are two types of sexual harassment. There's quid pro quo, which is like you do sexual favors for me and you get a promotion or something. That's not what happened here. But the second type that they have in here is hostile work environment. Sexual harassment occurs when unwelcome comments or conduct based on sex unreasonably interferes with your work performance or creates an intimidating, hostile, or offensive work environment. You may experience sexual harassment even if the offensive conduct was not aimed directly at you. The harassment must be severe or pervasive to be unlawful, but a single act of harassment may be sufficiently severe to be unlawful. So they're just not specifying because this is a fact sheet and you're supposed to actually consult with somebody about what happened. But here is the whole, I'm not going to read the whole thing.
But
this
unlawful,
is 2 pages.
so before you continue, just because a complaint isn't unlawful doesn't mitigate the complaint itself. It certainly doesn't eliminate it. Maybe it does mitigate it from being something that is legally contentious. But you remember, and all that she has to prove here is that she filed a sexual harassment claim and that he retaliated because of it.
Even if it's not filed, his recognition that her complaint occurred.
I should say that she made a complaint.
I learned this today. But even if it's not formally filed, just his admission that her complaint occurred is enough for a filing. And the reason why they do that is because if you're complaining against your boss, who you would have to complain to about his conduct, there's protections about that. So if you feel like you would suffer retaliation or something if you complain directly to the guy who did the thing, then the Civil Rights Department
they have provisions for that.
Yeah.
They have protocols for that.
But because he admitted that these things happen, and I don't understand why. I mean, I guess Brian Friedman thought that if he could admit to what happened in that first month at that workplace, and then also kind of couch it in terms where he said she overanalyzed the encounters, that she was overreacting. Like they just dismissed and like minimized it. And then they also said that he apologized a bunch of times and that she seemed okay with it, but now she's not anymore. Like, brother,
I said sorry.
None of that is enough.
What do you want me to do, bleed?
You are an employer. You have responsibilities under the law in your workplace.
But the real big issue is that he retaliated. That's the one that's going to hurt him the most.
Yes.
The SH is a problem
But it's also proven this. It's like a falsehood that people think that she didn't prove any of the SH happened.
Were the offenses egregious enough to warrant any kind of civil litigation? I don't know. That's a question I can't answer. I don't know. I know that, but that doesn't diminish the fact that she felt uncomfortable in the workplace and that she felt like the workplace was toxic. And these two things are fairly well established. But where her strength is in this case is in his retaliation. And we can see that retaliation all the way up until this very day. We can see that retaliation all the way up to obstruct the discovery process in the way that all of them have is really out of bounds from the norm.
That his lawyer went on the Megyn Kelly show and said, we are going to sue Blake Lively into oblivion. That is retaliation. Her complaints are protected activity. He's not allowed to do that kind of stuff without consequences.
It's got evidence. Yeah, he's going to sue everybody into oblivion. And then what did he do? Instead of suing people into oblivion, he filed a lawsuit that was filled with lies and crap. So it was so fucking bad that the judge threw it out. And when he threw it out, he wrote a really like scathing decision, particularly citing that even if he allowed for them to amend the complaint, they would not be able to amend it sufficient enough to prevent him from making the decision he's making. They had no evidence. They brought nothing. He was like, you literally brought nothing to the table.
Even the judge was like, okay, there's two claims that you can still save. You just have to show me the contract that's at issue. You have contract claims. You said that she breached contracts. Show us the contracts. And they were like, oh, our bad. And then they fucking didn't. They didn't even produce the contracts because the contract wouldn't even support their claims.
That's right.
It's just nuts. Phil Bombling has a hilarious comment. Female gaze as in... I want to invite all my bros to the birthing scene so that we can female gaze the crap out of Blake Lively. I hope she agrees to be naked or Sarowitz flew out for nothing.
Yeah, I wonder if when he offered his bro the role, his bro was like, dude, she's not going to be like naked. And he's like, I'll make her naked. Like,
we'll make sure she's naked.
Like it's an easy conversation to believe.
We'll have Heath talk to her. He's more smooth.
It's so easy to believe. It's so fucking easy to believe because you put your bro there. You put your bro there. There's let me just go. I'm going to go to It Ends With Us, IMDb.
Lee said, sexual harassment is any behavior of a sexual nature that is unwanted. Blake complained his behavior was unwanted. He admitted it and he apologized for it. There's your proof, Betty.
Yeah, sorry, Betty. It's bloody bad news. Full cast and crew. Let me click on that. Oh, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 24 roles. Let me see. Dudes. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of the 24 roles were male. These were all the big like featured roles. Okay. So there was 20 whatever featured roles. 9 of them were male roles. And the one he gave his friend was the one that was playing catch with her crotch.
But that's another thing. Apparently it was that way in the book, but he's so loyal to the book that he had to make sure that the OBGYN that was doing the actual delivery was a male doctor. Okay.
Yeah.
But he's not loyal to the book so much so that he couldn't prevent himself from creating a pornographic scene between two teenagers where there was none.
A graphic scene, at least. I wouldn't call it pornographic necessarily, but I agree with you that it's graphic.
I'll never get over that. That's such fucking creepy behavior, bro.
Your hyperbole is noted.
The next scene after, she gets on the school bus.
Thank you for the likes. Thank you, Lee, for asking people for the likes. It is really appreciated because, honestly, I shit you not. I can show you the proof, man. The Baldoni folks show up and they dislike the live. And, they're just disruptive by nature, either by nature or by vocation.
I don't mind explaining this stuff. Seems pretty easy. It's pretty easy to just...
What, to say like?
Break it all down for people who don't get the facts of the case.
Yeah. Well, so thank you for the likes. I do appreciate it. We do appreciate it. We enjoy bringing these nights, creating this space for us to hang on. Jerry Meadows is calling.
Not
Shan't
now,
take,
Jerry.
Shan't take that call, Jerry. It's the last time he knows I'm not alive. What are you doing?
Also, I went looking around because Justin Baldoni claims to have porn addiction, and he talks about it in his book.
Well, thank you. That was where I wanted to go next for sure. So this is, to me, the most. This is like the really coolest thing that you've done. Angela went poking around. She went to go look into. You asked the question: is there really such a thing as a porn addiction? Because it's not a substance. There's, is it real?
It was the main reason why I felt like, why is he creating a sex scene that didn't exist in the book or the screenplay? When he says that, when he's like admitting to people all left and right that he has a porn addiction, doesn't that seem like somebody in recovery would probably try to prevent themselves from engaging in that kind of like artistic, creative pursuit? I don't know. So I was like, okay, well, what does he say about porn addiction?
Now,
he has a memoir where he like talks about all kinds of stuff.
Right, and Blake Lively said that he mentioned it at least more than once, right?
Yes. That she was like trying to get him to shut up about it.
That is so fucking
and then
wrong
so
with
she's
you.
like, I don't watch porn. I'm not interested in porn. Can you leave me alone about this? And then he told everybody, can you believe she doesn't watch porn? Fucking guy. Oh my God. So anyway, so I went looking in his book. He talks about how he talks about porn addiction in a way in which kind of like dopamine addiction, like gaming addiction. Like, it's not actually like a chemical addiction. Like, you won't wake up in the middle of the night like fiending for a video game,
Sweating,
or for porn,
losing weight.
right? Like, but it can be something that where you're so your brain is so screwed up on the dopamine that it's getting from engaging in this easy dopamine fix that it kind of dulls your senses for other pleasures. So in that way, it is kind of an addiction, but it's not like an addiction.
Well, why don't you read it? Because it's not an addiction.
Okay.
Yeah.
I found this article. This guy, David J. Lay, PhD, he said, this is in Psychology Today, science stopped believing in porn addiction. You should too.
I never did. I thought it was a bunch of fucking bullshit from the beginning.
So they ran a bunch of tests on people, and they sort of tried to like narrow down like what is it that these people are suffering from when they think they're suffering from porn addiction. Should I just read this whole thing?
Please.
What does it mean that religion, not porn use, predicts porn-related problems? This was in April 2025. This is recent. Though porn addiction is not diagnosable and never has been, there's a large self-help industry surrounding the concept, which Justin Baldoni is participating in his book. He talks about how there's all these these therapy programs that he's involved in because of his porn addiction. It's like he's being scammed. It's crazy. Mostly online, though in religious areas such as Utah, there are numerous in-person treatment sites. This industry promotes the idea that modern access to the internet and the porn that thrives there has led to an epidemic of dysregulated, out-of-control porn use and significant life problems as a result.
I can't stop. I just can't stop.
Well, Baldoni says this too, that it like affects relationships and stuff. I don't know, whatever. Okay,
Dude, I mean, settle down, bro. Just settle down. Read a book. Huh?
It's not the same,
Take
Dale.
a fucking yoga class.
Over recent years, numerous studies have begun to suggest that there is more to the story than just porn. Instead, we've had growing hints that the conflicts and struggles over porn use have more to do with morality and religion rather than pornography itself. I've covered this surge of research in numerous posts and articles. They're linked. Now researchers have put a nail in the coffin of porn addiction. Josh Grubb, Samuel Perry, and Joshua Wilt are some of the leading researchers on America's struggles with porn. What do you do for a living?
I study porn.
I'm a porn researcher. They've published numerous studies examining the impact of porn use, belief in porn addiction, and the effect of porn on marriages. And Rory Reed is a UCLA researcher who's a leading proponent gathering information about the concept of hypersexual disorder for the DSM-5. These 4 researchers, all of whom have history of neutrality, if not outright support of the concepts of porn addiction, have conducted a meta-analysis of research on pornography and concluded that porn use does not predict problems with porn, but that religiosity does.
Oh, here we go with this shit.
The researchers lay out their
Guilt.
Yep. The researchers lay out their
shame.
Yep. The researchers lay out their argument and theory extremely thoroughly, suggesting that pornography problems due to moral incongruence, which is called PPMI.
Moral incongruence.
Pornography problems due to moral incongruence appear to be the driving force in many of the people who report dysregulated, uncontrollable, or problematic pornography use. Even though many people who grew up in religious, sexually conservative households have strong negative feelings about pornography, many of these same people continue to use pornography, and then they feel guilty and ashamed.
And they flagellate in the fucking...
Yeah. And then they're just like beating themselves up.
Oh.
And then they feel guilty and ashamed of their behavior and angry at themselves and their desire to watch more. In the early 1990s,
God, I mean, you guys, life is short. Like, it's short. It's really short. Like, I cannot believe that we're on year 13. Life is fucking short. Why are people wrapped up in this absolute madness? It's mad. Eat the fruit. Just eat the fruit.
Eat the fruit.
Soon you won't be able to eat the fruit. Eat the fruit.
In the early 1990s, as the internet burst upon the world's screens, Al Cooper was a psychologist who suggested that the affordable anonymity and accessibility of the internet was leading to an explosion of porn addiction. Though intuitively appealing and often cited, Cooper's theory was only empirically evaluated once, in 2004, when it was found that the variables of accessibility, affordability, and anonymity actually had no empirical connection to sexual behaviors, change, or use of internet porn. But what the internet did was to put porn in the hands of people woefully unprepared to manage it or their sexual desires, which is basically what Baldoni talks about in his book. Religiosity is associated with a host of sexual difficulties. Porn-related problems can now be added to that list. In their study, Grubbs and the team analyzed data from about 15 different studies by varied researchers and reviewed many more. So it was comprising nearly 7,000 different participants. Studies were conducted in person and online in the United States and Europe. And the team found that first, religiousness was a strong, clear predictor of moral incongruence regarding porn use. This is important as it indicates that we can and should use a person's religiousness as an indicator of the likelihood of moral conflict over porn use. Not all people who are morally opposed to porn are religious, but it appears that religiosity captures the majority of people who feel this way.
It's the same group, by the way, that are having, like, you know, would they decode, where they change you from being gay.
Oh, yeah, like...
same people with the same...
Conversion therapy?
Conversion therapy, thank you very much.
Which is just basically like abuse.
Which is
punishment.
Abuse. It's just all this religious nonsense. It's just such religious... One second before you continue, Jackie says that Baldoni never apologized for SH. It never happened. He wouldn't have to apologize for it to happen.
His lawyer wrote it. It's on page 33 in his timeline exhibit. Yes. You can go read it yourself. Like, literally, I'm not making this up.
Yeah. No.
I'll read that next.
Okay. Stick around. We'll read that. Angela will read that for you.
Like, he literally apologized many times, is what he said. Secondly, and more to the point, back to this pornography addiction story. Secondly, and more to the point, the meta-analysis found moral incongruence around pornography use is consistently the best predictor of the belief one is experiencing pornography-related problems or dysregulation, and comparisons of aggregate effects reveal that it is consistently a much better predictor than pornography use itself. I'm just going to skip because I feel like we're losing time.
It told the story of Kevin, right?
No, that's the other article. But from this one, this is a different article, but this said...
The wanker Kevin.
Medicalizing porn addiction. Another contentious issue regarding the concept of porn addiction, while most professionals concur that problematic porn use doesn't fit the symptomatology of substance addiction, the concept of porn addiction is still very appealing to the general public because it provides people with a way of reconciling their porn use with their moral beliefs.
It gives them a chance to do it. It gives them a chance to repeat to do it. So if they find themselves in a situation or a condition which does not allow for it, right? So I'm a devout Christian, I'm a devout Baha'i faith, whatever it might be. If you're devout in your faith and your faith looks at pornography as the shameful and sinful
the
thing.
whole religion, you have to be a sinner in order to participate.
To create it out, to then find yourself addicted to it gives you the excuse to keep using.
Yeah.
Oh, I relapsed.
Yeah,
girl on girl, it knocked me right out cold.
This says the rationalization goes something like this. I believe sex is only sanctioned within a committed relationship. Therefore, other sexual behaviors such as casual sex, watching porn, or even feelings of sexual attraction for other people other than my partner are morally wrong. However, I'm a moral person, and those strong urges to watch porn are caused by addiction, a psychological disorder. With help, I can overcome this disorder. In other words, by medicalizing porn use, people don't have to accept responsibility for their behavior. It also helps them find forgiveness for their supposed transgressions. It's just like a kind of a cop-out. And I feel like Baldoni does this shit a lot. Like, he's constantly talking on his podcast and stuff about how he's a work in progress, and so everybody should just forgive him, you know?
Yes.
Like, he's like, oh, yeah, I screwed up, but I'm a work in progress. As if that's like...
I'm saying that's the whole point.
You get to, like, just skip the step of, like, actually, like, being accountable for your behavior.
Well, I'm not accountable because I try. I'm trying.
Or he's like, oh, I did the thing that we both agreed that I shouldn't do, which is engage in porn. And so, but that was a relapse because I'm a sick person. You know, I have the illness of addiction. Like, we all know people who actually have substance abuse disorders, you know? It is an illness.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
It doesn't happen with fucking porn or video games or any of that.
No. It certainly does. It doesn't. It's absurd to call it an addiction. It's a compulsion if it's anything.
Yeah.
And you know, you gotta find your way to that as well. I'm loading up page 493 because holy shit, Lee's almost done my book.
Sweet.
Wow. 493.
Okay. So there was more to read on that, but I've just aborted the mission.
It's an important distinction because we have a situation where a guy is leaning on it. He's leaning on it on set. He's leaning on it. He's leaning on it in a way that helps him identify with the character Ryle. He's
identifying it enough that he's mentioning it all the time, right? Like, so this is something that he brings up on his podcast all the time, even when he's not engaged in the character of Ryle. But you're right. This character, I mean, I guess he's like, yeah, this is why he's abusive, because he's got, you know, he has problems.
And he's not bringing it up like it's Doritos. No. He's not saying, I'm so addicted to these. Oh my God.
Also, he feels like he has to talk about all of his, Baldoni feels like he has to talk about all of these things, these issues that he has all the time.
He overshares.
He overshares in a workplace where he's the boss and he's making everyone uncomfortable.
Right. If you're doing it you know, in your Man Enough podcast, or if you're doing it in your,
there's a place for this.
Home.
Right. On your podcast, where you're basically doing group therapy without any guidance. Fine. Whatever. Say what you want to say.
There's one door you got to leave that at.
Yes.
It's called the workplace.
I know. And so when somebody complains about him making them uncomfortable, which is inevitable when you're running your mouth like this, then it's like an issue and he's like resents them for it. And then he fucking
Delicate said that he's also blaming his mental health instead. And this is a very fucking good point, because I think that what we have in Justin Baldoni is a scapegoat artist. He's a scapegoat artist. You know, so, a good example of it is in that conversation that he has with the editors, when the editors tell him that Sony is the person blocking him from being in the edit, and he blames Blake Lively.
Yeah, immediately.
And he blames Blake Lively, and says, "Let me get this straight." So an actress gets to work on the cut.
Yeah, his editors are literally like, the reason why you're not in this edit is because Sony said so. They don't even mention Blake, and he immediately pivots to blame her.
I'm gonna pivot right now to page 493.
No, wait, I'm gonna read this one thing.
Okay.
This is when he apologizes. That was what the person in the chat said. Dale?
Say that again, I'm sorry?
That he never apologized for SH?
Yes.
Okay, well...
So it didn't happen. They didn't say so it didn't happen. They just said, Baldoni never apologized for SH. It never happened.
All right, here we go.
So I don't know what it never happened is, the SH or the fact that he didn't apologize.
June 1st, 2023. This is according to Brian Friedman in Justin Baldoni's filing his lawsuit against everybody. Okay?
Yes. To Oblivion
June
lawsuit?
1st. Yeah, June 1st, 2023. Upon returning to production, Lively requested a meeting... Okay, with Baldoni and the film's producers. She's going to air out her grievances. This is considered by the law, according to the law, this is a formal complaint. during which she shared a series of grievances that she appeared to have spent the past 5 days overanalyzing. That's Brian Friedman's color, okay? From the outset, it was clear that she had scrutinized every minor interaction and perceived slight from the previous week. She's entitled to. In the meeting, Lively revisited the sexy comment, an issue Baldoni had already apologized for twice. First, minutes after the incident, on May 23rd, 2023, and again later, Lively herself had previously acknowledged and seemingly accepted the apology. Despite this, Baldoni apologized a third time in an effort to move forward. Additionally, she accused Heath of looking at her on May 16th, 2023, when she'd specifically asked him to turn his back during a conversation in her makeup trailer. Heath explained that he hadn't realized he was looking at her, but apologized nonetheless. So that's a second apology for a different event, okay? These people are acknowledging that these things happened.
Right.
And they're apologizing for them, and it's in writing.
It's all there.
Yep.
Over and over again. You're just being gaslit like crazy.
Lively further
buying it.
Claimed Heath had showed her a video of his wife's home birth and thought it was pornographic. Heath, shocked by this characterization, confirmed that she did in fact understand that it was a video of a post-birth recording of his wife and newborn daughter. He also explained that Baldoni, check this out, this is interesting. Baldoni had asked him, Heath, to show the clip to Lively as part of a creative discussion about a scene that they had already shot the day before.
Yeah, it was gone because she had argued it.
Yeah, so and they were trying to win an argument.
So he was trying to win a fucking
argument. And
argument.
Lively actually had not seen the video. Despite the explanation, Heath apologized once more. So Heath talked to Baldoni. Baldoni was like, yeah, show her that. Heath goes over with the cell phone in hand with a fucking picture on it. She's eating lunch with her assistant. He never asks whether she wants to see it. He just puts the phone in her face. I'm sorry, but that's fucking uncomfortable.
It's so fucking ridiculous.
We talked about this scene yesterday. What are we showing? What are you showing me a naked picture for? To try and, okay, you want to change my mind about yesterday? Like, what is this, guys? This is weird behavior.
It is.
Anyway, that's him admitting to apologizing. I don't know why you guys think that this doesn't exist, but it's all right here, like black and white.
Ricardo's here. Ricardo. I went Ricardo on it, and you know, you make up your mind in these things. It's like
because you made it like, Brazilian.
It's like Foz. I called Foz a dude. Foz is not a dude.
Oh.
Foz is a woman. She's a mother. I was like, I'm doing the live cuts and stuff, and I'm listening to myself, and then I'm like, I forget how it came up, but I realized, oh shit,
you're misgendering our chat.
Yeah, I misgender people all the time. It's you guys gotta set me straight, man. You'd be like, I'm a dude. Don't do that, dude. Or yo, I'm not a dude. Don't do that, dude.
You could just assume that everyone's a they until they say so. Then you're not misgendering. You just don't know.
You know, it's not so easy. You know. For those of you who don't know, my name's Dale Wheatley, and I wrote and produced a movie called Dawn's Plum. And that became a 30-year dispute with Leonardo DiCaprio and Tobey Maguire that, sort of hit a peak when DiCaprio called me a liar and a thief on a New York Post documentary called The Curse of Dawn's Plum. And I knew I had to respond to Leo, but I didn't have the money and the power and the influence and the fucking publicists and lawyers and all the things that he has to control what the market says about me. So I wrote a book. And the book is called Too Real, a Hollywood Memoir. I hold it in my hands right now. And someone in our chat, Lee, is almost finished it. And so while Lee's been reading and showing up, I've been kind of reading. Lee shows up and says, hey, I'm on page whatever. And then I read that page, or a portion from that page, an excerpt from that page. And so today I'm going to read from you an excerpt from the end of 492 and the beginning of 493, where Lee is reading. And here goes. Again, this is late in the book. Spoiler alert. The movie didn't come out in America. All right, hang on. Leo and Toby weren't happy with destroying our work. They needed to destroy our lives too. There were ridiculous attempts at intimidation. We got a voice message from Leo in a not so disguised voice comparing Artie Robb, a Jew, to Adolf Hitler. I heard that a couple of strange men showed up at our head of wardrobe's house and confiscated the Polaroid photograph she took of Toby exposing himself on set. We had stored the rest of our set photography at Henry Day's house, and we were told there was a fire that destroyed all of it. There were conflicting stories about whether a fire actually happened, but all of our photography went missing, and no one has an explanation for it. David Stepman arrived home one afternoon to discover a decapitated teddy bear on his doorstep, which he perceived as a threat to his dog. RD came out of an audition and found his tires had been slashed. I guess I'll go to the next one. RD and I were made into an example of what would happen if anyone opposed them. In a matter of days, RD and I went from being at the center of a huge tight-knit network of friends connected to nearly every corner of Hollywood to being almost completely ostracized, and everyone just watched as it happened. We were abandoned by our friends and blacklisted in the industry, and it happened in the blink of an eye. And they chose to inflict all of this damage after just one single night. Not one of them even attempted to investigate Toby's outrageous claims. They refused to speak with us ever again, creating a wall of protection around Toby's lies. Their first and only option was merciless annihilation. Oh, them bastards. Who'd they do this to? Me. Fuckers. All right, anyway.
Your book is really well written.
That was, I didn't read that so well, but thank you for it. I'm so glad you're reading the book, Lee. I hope you're having fun with it, even when it's in this stage
Even when it's super sad.
Late stage, all is lost and no elixir. Well, there is a great elixir. It sits across from me. Greatest elixir I ever got. The best elixir I could have imagined. Seriously, how I can't be happier.
That's my porn name.
Yeah.
Elixir.
Elixir?
Yeah.
Angel Elixir? I'm so glad you're enjoying it, Lee. Yeah, by the way, for those who haven't or don't know about it, we only have 14 people here. My guess is you guys all know me. But if you don't, you can pick the book up on Amazon or read it on Kindle Unlimited. You can even pick it up at twoworldbook.com and I'll sign it. And then, it'll be worth absolutely nothing.
Okay, I have a story that I brought for you.
Yes.
You know how we like to point out who's a real one?
Who's a real one, Angela?
Country rap star Jelly Roll is a real one.
There's country rap is a thing?
Yes, country rap.
There's no way that's good.
This guy, his name is Jelly Roll.
Jelly Roll?
Yes.
I like that.
He's a real one.
Tell me how. Tell me why.
He has done so much philanthropy and he's donated so much money to juvenile justice reform and underprivileged youth that people are starting to make up stories about him donating more. So
what do you mean they're lying about it?
Here's one. This is what I first saw. Okay. Country rap star Jelly Roll has donated his entire $5 million in recent tour bonuses and sponsorship earnings to build a series of homeless support
Come on now.
Homeless support centers in Antioch, Tennessee, his hometown. The initiative will create 150 housing units and 300 shelter beds for those in need.
Dude, our mayor in this town, they made Tent City. They created a tent city, a bunch of fucking tents, and then they had a grand opening.
Dude, they had a fucking ribbon cutting.
They had a ribbon cutting.
For a parking lot full of tents.
For a fucking parking lot full of tents.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, somebody fucking spent money on this and you're celebrating it?
And you're acting like this is like, look at my political gains.
Anyway,
while you said I would do nothing, I went to Walmart and bought 7 tents. It was fucked up.
So I went looking to see what Jelly Roll actually did. And it's awesome. Let's see. Confirmed investments in charitable acts. So juvenile justice reform. In 2022, Jelly Roll donated $250,000 to build a recording studio at the Davidson County Juvenile Detention Center in Nashville.
Oh, what?
Where he was previously incarcerated. Because apparently he was amazing. He had a felony conviction for aggravated robbery, which he committed at the age of 16. So he was charged as an adult due to the nature of the crime, which involved a robbery of individuals with a firearm. And nobody was hurt, apparently.
Obviously.
So his past felonies impacted his life in several ways, obviously, because he can't vote or travel internationally for performances. So he's been really open about this, and he has made sure that he can give back to that same... I think he's also an orphan? I don't remember. I don't know. Let me see. His name is Jason Bradley DeFord, but he goes by Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll's his rapper name.
He is a real one. I love hearing these stories.
Okay. Anyway, so let me see. I'm kind of a mess putting this together for you.
That guy. I know him. He has a cross under his eye.
Yeah, apparently people really like him.
Well, he's very intimidating to look at. Just the tattoos intimidate me. They always, if you got tattoos on your face, I'm immediately intimidated.
According to a Fox News report, here it is. The musician spoke to People magazine in December 2022 about wanting to bring hope to troubled youths and he created the music studio as one way he planned to do it. It's important, man. I think it's important that we give back, especially to our kids, Jelly Roll told People at the time. Man, our youth are so impressionable, and the old quote goes, none of them asked to be here.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Like Leonardo DiCaprio had these kinds of opportunities and he didn't and he passed up on them. Like he had the opportunity. You know, it's an interesting thing, right? He took a shit all over Don's Plum in my life and my career. And he did the same to Artie Rod, the director of Don's Plum. He did the same to Jerry Metters and many others who worked on the film. In fact, he took a big, hot, steamy shit on all of his friends' work.
Yes.
He did that.
Right.
That's a matter of fucking fact.
Yeah.
Right? He could have, as a means to repair that reputationally, started a fucking independent film fund where he's producing independent first-time filmmakers. Do you know what I mean? He could have done so many different things to mitigate how fucking bad that is. But instead, all he did was cover it up with more lies and deceit. Do you know what I mean? And then you have this guy, Jelly Roll, who goes and he actually goes and fucking is a rehabilitated felon.
Yeah.
And who takes his rehabilitation so seriously that he's out to help others rehabilitate. Not just be a good guy, not just like pay his taxes and go to work every day and fucking build a nice little record shop. He's literally out there trying to make a difference to people. I mean, it's just an amazing story. I'm so glad you brought him up.
So singer Jelly Roll, who's been open about his past experiences with homelessness and incarceration, has invested in his Tennessee community through charitable contributions. However, so there's even more rumors about stuff that they're not sure he did. But this is another one that's confirmed, okay?
Okay.
He partnered with his former defense attorney to support the Judge Dinkins Educational Center, which is a nonprofit helping at-risk Nashville youth get high school diplomas and job training. He's donated a portion of his ticket sales from the Grand Ole Opry performances to the organization.
Absolutely fucking incredible.
Anyway, Jelly Roll's a real one.
Yeah. He gets the real one vote for me. You know who also might be a real one? Seth Rogen.
Oh, yeah? Why is Seth Rogen a real one?
Sometimes he'll smoke weed with his fans. He's like, sometimes you got to take a couple hits.
Of course, dude.
The guy's like got the biggest stoner reputation in the world. And they'd be like, come on, Seth, come on, bro. This fucking shit is the kind bud.
That's brand development.
That's brand development.
Yeah.
He's a real one, bro. He's like, all right, whatever. You got herpes? Of course you do, you fucker. All right, here you go. Yeah, he'll pull on a couple. He'll do a couple pulls. He says, I think the quote is, least I could do is take a couple of hits. So he's a real one. Gotta love that. Will Smith, by the way, is we're AI. I fucking hate it. So I'm flipping through my feed or whatever, and I get an advertisement, and the advertisement is churn out your fucking the novel in your head in an hour. That's what the advertising is.
An hour?
In an hour. In an evening. Write your novel in an evening. Oh, infuriating.
Oh, because you basically smash your keyboard a bunch of times?
No, you just sit there and you're just writing prompts. You're just saying, you're telling to churn out a book that has my beginning, middle, and end or whatever. It's
what's so fucked up is that the novel that it generates is crafted from the stolen corpses of a bunch of other artists' novels.
Yeah, it's disgusting. So Will Smith is now accused of using AI in embarrassing tour videos, I guess, to promote that he had people, like
oh, he's filling the audience?
So apparently, and I haven't seen anything, but apparently the footage from the clip that he's using as a tour video is like, yeah, this is my tour. It has audience members with distorted faces, blurred limbs, and extra digits.
Dale, maybe they did.
Maybe it was them. This is like the Demons tour.
No, maybe it was just like he performed for a bunch of different.
Imagine if he comes out with that. Imagine if he's like,
judgmental much.
You know what?
I was performing at the conference.
The Society for Blurry People. Blurry limbed people.
Yes. The 3-digit.
I suppose you make fun of people with blurred limbs all the time, don't you? Oh, you think extra digits is a blessing, do you? It's not. It's a curse. It's a curse.
He's just trying to raise awareness for people with extra limbs.
Did I ever tell you that I used to know Jay Chandrasekhar? Do you know who that is?
No.
You don't know who Jay Chandrasekhar is?
No, I'm surprised you can say it so well.
Well, because I used to know him.
I'm going to look this up. How do you spell that?
He is a part of the writing team known as Broken Lizard. Do you know that?
Nope.
They wrote Super Troopers, among other things.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of that.
And Super Troopers 3 is beginning filming. And I'm amazed at how much of a property that this guy. First of all, Jay Chandrasekhar is the nicest guy. And there's no way he remembers me because it was like a brief point in time. The only reason I remember him is because of his extraordinary name. And then years later, after meeting him, and I mean 2, 3, maybe even 4 years later, he hits with one of those movies. It wasn't Super Troopers because he had some other movie that broke him out. I can't remember. One of you guys probably know about it.
Beer Fest, Dukes of Hazzard.
No, that was when he hit. That was after he hit. Anyway, he formed
Club Dread. That's 2004.
Well, he didn't do something with Dave, or like he didn't do something with Franco. The not Dave, David, the other one, Joe. What's his name? Johnny. What's his name?
Johnny Franco.
Johnny Franco.
Puddle Cruiser. I don't know. That's 1996. You know, I'm just guessing here because I don't know who this person is, and I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know who I'm talking about? How do you not know who I'm talking about?
I know the Super Trooper movie. That was a big deal.
I'm excited for him. I'm excited
I'm happy
for him
too.
There's all this attention on it, and people are excited. I don't know why because I don't think. Did you see the Super Troopers?
No, never.
No. Apparently they're like amazing.
Yeah, they look really funny.
Yeah, maybe we should watch it.
Hey, if you're making fun of cops, I'm seated.
Anyway, he's a lovely guy, and so any chance I can to support him, I will. And you know, it's not like blowing up or anything, but on Reddit, it has like over 1,000 upvotes, and so people are digging it in a very busy category of horror movies. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I just
you
wanted
said
to
horror
mention
movies?
So I'm gonna keep my eye on Broken Lizard's progress and Super Troopers 3 because I'm gonna promote a little bit on this live if you guys don't mind.
Sweet.
Sydney Sweeny delivers back-to-back box office bombs in 2 weeks. And
No. She doesn't.
She doesn't?
No, the fucking marketing team does. The marketing
understand.
team fucking biffed it so hard, dude. Do you even know the names of these movies? Do you?
No, absolutely not. No. Sydney Sweeny is the only thing I know about him.
Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Have you seen a poster?
Nope. Don't even know what's it about.
I haven't been like,
Do you?
I looked for
What are you
one.
trying to make me look stupid here?
No, I'm saying that it's not her fault that nobody marketed her films. It is wild, dude. She came off of everybody loves everything that she's ever done, right? In Euphoria, she was amazing. I think she even got nominated for that, maybe. And then in White Lotus, most recently. And then of course she gets cast in these movies because she's incredible, and everybody thinks like, oh, everybody loves Sydney Sweeney. Like we're definitely gonna, we're straight to the top with this casting. I don't know who's to blame for why both of those movies didn't get marketed whatsoever. In one of them, she's playing a boxer, and she got super buff for the role. And it looks amazing. And she revealed it on her Instagram. And it was like a week or two before this whole fucking denim ad controversy. It completely buried anything that they were trying to do about that movie. And so nobody's been talking. I guess they decided that that it would be better to not talk about the Sydney Sweeney movie than to tie their film to that controversy or something. Well, now they fucking tanked their opening.
Well, let me tell you that how it kind of works. So, and this doesn't necessarily mean this is how it worked in this situation, but this is how it works sometimes. You've heard of like Q ratings and stuff. So
yeah.
they go out there and they kind of, they're monitoring, the level of like the market's level of interest in their work. And they probably did do some strong preliminary marketing where they go out and they go into test markets. So you're not going to be in a test market where you are today. So they might have done this in LA, they might have done it in New York, or might have done it in other markets where Sydney Sweeney's movie would have expected to play. And they would know what they are because they knew those before they made the movie. It's a part of their decision to greenlight a movie is to know where they're going to release it if theatrical is on the horizon for any particular property. Okay? So they probably went out into individual markets, and she fucking bombed, Angela. What probably happened is they went into these little test markets, and they're not going to go and drop $20 million on a nothing burger. They're not going to do it. Like they're going to sit there and eat the loss on the production and save that money on the other end, in the P&A end, if it's a lost cause.
That is interesting. Well, I'm really curious. I think I'm a fan of hers. I think that I don't know what the fuck she's doing with these fucking ads that she's involved in, but whatever. Like she's just being mismanaged because I think she's a really talented actor, and I think she has a lot to say. artistically.
So it's not so
So
much.
I would really like to see. I also really like.
Yeah, well,
I like it when really pretty girls like play these really rugged roles where they kind of distort their image. Like she put on a bunch of muscle and became a boxer to play this boxer.
That's dope.
And I read a little bit about I should look up the name of this.
And look, the problem is the polarizing, the polarizing, conditions, the political, climate. She came out she was outed as a Republican, registered in Florida. And yeah, that's like not real popular in LA. That's not going to be real popular in a lot of LA spots. You know what I mean? So,
but it also just goes to show whoever she courted, right? Everybody that was on like the wrong side of everything these days absolutely loved that she was creating controversy with that denim ad. But they're not going to go see her movies. They're not going to fucking support her career as an actor in Hollywood. No. And so it's like, you have a choice as an actor or any kind of celebrity. You either court the sort of fan base that's going to support your film work, right? What actually gets you paid, or you're going to court the fan base who likes to, tweet about you or fucking argue with you on Truth Social or argue about you on Truth Social or some shit and not pay you anything.
It's so funny that they call Truth Social.
Who fucking knows? Anyway, she played Christy Martin in her bio film, who's a boxer and has an incredible life story. She apparently had a brush with near death out of the boxing ring. And I just think that this is really an incredible story, and I'm looking forward to seeing this.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm just, as far as her career goes and look, it is amazing to me how quickly, first of all, that ad that she did, I don't know how, I get, I'm kind of dense to this kind of stuff. Like, I don't know, were they really foolishly, why would they engage in something that's about white supremacy in a jeans ad?
I just feel like these marketing companies have their finger on the pulse and they make these decisions based on what pays. And so I guess there's enough of a market. I don't fucking know, dude. I don't know. I know that it's an educated guess. It's not like they made a mistake by doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like they absolutely intended to convey the message we all received. They don't make mistakes.
I didn't get
like
that when I watched the ad, and I didn't get it. But that doesn't mean anything, because this is the kind of stuff that will fly over my head in a second. Some deep innuendo of
You don't get
racism.
The fucking pure blood references and shit like that?
She said my jeans are blue. And
No. There's a bunch of text before she says that.
No, I know
That's
that.
like the tagline, but there's a bunch. She does a whole explanation.
Yeah.
Anyway, whenever white people in media are talking about their jeans,
it's a bad idea.
It's a dog whistle, bro.
It's a super bad idea.
It's not even a dog whistle. It's a whistle.
Even if you're absolutely stumbling into that situation, because jeans, as a creative.
Okay, but what I'm saying is that the marketing company, you can't give them the benefit of the doubt. They know what they're fucking doing.
Well, don't be so sure.
There's no way that they would make that mistake because all of us noticed.
Let me tell you that it's very easy for them to get involved in a jeans.
But they would love for you to think that, so that they can the benefit of the doubt.
Maybe they would. I suppose if they are this wicked, white supremacy or white.
No, they're just chasing markets. They think it's a market. I mean, look, there's a bunch of people who are still fans of fucking Andrew Tate and shit. There's a whole fucking subculture we're not aware of. They probably feel like they're tapping into
that guy to do your jean commercial.
They probably think that there's an untapped market that they're gonna get for their client. You know what I mean? Fuck. And we're all fanning those flames because we're talking about it.
Listen, if she knowingly made an ad, I'll never watch anything of her. If she knowingly made an ad that is about white supremacy, then I definitely want nothing to do with any of her stuff creatively. And there's nothing. That was
a major risk.
I don't give a fuck how good she is. I definitely don't want to watch anything she does, because I know I want to support anyone who has any inclination of genetic superiority over anything, let alone anyone.
Yeah, I don't know how much responsibility she has for that.
Well, that's my official position as a member of this family.
If it makes you feel any better, this boxer that she played, Sydney Sweeny to star as trailblazing queer boxer, what's her name again? Christy Martin.
Well, Well, that's great. I'm glad that she's
So, I mean,
not anti-LGBTQ. That's good news. We gotta like check boxes off now. We gotta be like Sydney Sweeny. Oh look, she eats tuna, so she's okay with eating fish. That's okay. Okay, there we go, pescatarian.
I know. Here's the thing, man. Sometimes you could just separate the art from the artist, I guess. I don't know if that's what you want to do.
Our last live, we had a pretty good live. We had like almost 50 hours of watch time. Doesn't that sound good?
Yes.
And that's almost 300 minutes of watch time. Isn't that cool?
Yes.
So Happy Gilmore breaks the Nielsen record with 2.9 billion minutes.
Wow.
In its opening weekend. 2.9 billion minutes. I just wanted to put like how microscopic we truly are. We're such a little fucking eye blink on the fucking chart of anything. And I mean, we're not a movie anyway.
Do you think I'm manifesting that? Like I'm keeping us small because I'm camera shy? Do you think that I'm like...
Better not be, dude.
That I'm like, please, I hope nobody sees me and the fates that control everything. They're like, gotcha. Don't worry. Nobody's going to see you at all.
See, Delicate says they know. She said consumer behavior is a psychology class in her business marketing class.
They know.
So here's the thing about that. I mean, I'm so fucking naive and stupid. I kind of hate myself. I'm just like.
But I bet they discussed this. They're like,
I'd have called it clever before I'd have called it racist.
You would have called it what?
Clever.
Oh, okay.
Before I would have called it racist. Before anyone would have been able. And then when obviously you point that out, and then I'd be like, it's like, I had a friend who is not from this country, and who was like, oh, but all lives matter. And I was like, no, that's not how this works. But he actually told,
because he just wasn't engaging in the debate at all.
He didn't understand it. He was like, why?
He was like, why would you be so exclusive?
Yeah,
like,
why would you be exclusive?
You don't understand
what about the Asian? So I had to explain. And
so you had to explain it.
He was
like,
adamant
don't
about it.
Say that.
And the reason I had to have the conversation with him was because he said that he just got off the phone with his black friend, and he had a very good conversation. He said, and he was like, and the guy, he said he saw my point of view of how all lives matter, and I was like, no, dude, he didn't. He got off the phone with you. He got off the phone with you, you dumb Canadian fucker.
And you might not have another conversation like that with him again, because some people just aren't cool to talk about this shit with.
The manosphere. Oh.
The manosphere, yeah.
I'm not a part of the manosphere, despite my beard.
Delicate said they're appealing to the manosphere like Joe Rogan. That's the thing is like, I bet that their whole pitch was like, there is not a gene company that is going to corner this market, but American Eagle. Listen, yeah. American Eagle. And then they had the sound effect, caw with an American flag waving, you know?
It was a crow or something. No eagle goes caw.
I don't fucking know. What do I know?
That's like an eagle. That's a bad eagle.
Sorry. But that was the pitch. They're like, American Eagle is uniquely poised to capture this racist neo market.
Which almost wear exclusively jeans.
Yeah. And then they're like, okay, we'll cast the blonde with the nice rack.
For the healthy rack.
It'll be a winner.
Look up here.
And then also, they're like, if anybody gets too offended, we could just pretend like it was an accident. Like, what do you mean? We didn't mean anything like that.
Delegate's also pointing out that LGBTQ plus people can also be racist, and this is for certain.
Yes.
They can be sexist. They can be all these things, which I found very surprising, actually. But it's true. It's because you would think like minorities. Why would you band together? But nope.
Ideally, I think it's based in fear. Oh, this is a nice segue.
What?
Fear. Causing bigotry.
The fear causes bigotry?
Yeah. Wasn't Snoop Dogg in the news?
Snoop Doggy dog.
The D-O-double-G?
The D-O-double-G, which is not how you actually spell dog. And there is no person actually named Snoop Dogg. There's just someone known as that.
Calvin Brodus?
Mr. Brodus himself, yes. He, apparently he said some pretty stupid shit on a podcast because he took his child, I don't know if it was a boy or a girl, to see a Disney movie, Lighthouse or Lightsaber, or I don't know what the fuck it's called. Some kind of movie about kids things or whatever. And there's an LGBTQ couple. It was his grandson, I think. And there was an LGBT couple. And then I guess he had to, because I guess they had some questions. They were like, hey, what's up with that? And he was like, oh, fuck. And so he said
now I have to parent and
yeah,
guide.
he said now he's scared to go to the movies because
he literally said, I'm scared to go to the movies now.
Yeah, so it's like the most homophobic thing you could.
You're like, literally, that's homophobia.
Honestly, like, I'm done with the fucking Snoop D-O-W-G.
I know, but what's so funny is, like, I don't know if you guys remember, but in the 90s, there was this whole, like, panic about, like, rap lyrics turning children violent, and you had to, like, keep your kids away from the rappers and their horrible violent rap lyrics, or else your kids were going to end up into these, like, it was going to create, like, degeneracy and, like, violence and stuff.
Oh, please.
But, like, look at how he's doing the same thing. He's, like, doing this. Like,
yeah, it's hilarious.
This same exact gay panic with that media that he's having was exactly what people were criticizing him for in the 90s. And he's got no self-awareness about it. And I just don't understand how these people conduct themselves seriously.
Yeah, he was glorifying violence. Now, his argument's going to be like that, he wouldn't recommend bringing your baby or your child to his concert or to listen to his CDs. But I would say, because, like back in the day, explicit lyrics and so on and so forth.
No. What I'm saying is it was adults who were having this fucking panic.
What he doesn't understand is that there's nothing abnormal about two fucking people of the same sex falling in love and having a family or a relationship. What he doesn't understand is that it's not about sex. It's about humanity. He misses the humanity that's all around him.
Yeah, in every neighborhood, you'll encounter that. That's fucking normal.
It's fucking normal to see two people together, Didn't he watch My Two Dads? Fuck, man.
If there was My Two Dads, there was Two Men and a Baby.
It's fucking...
Wasn't there? Two Men and a Baby was another one?
Yeah, and Ernie and Bert, bro. Yeah, 2 Men and a Baby.
Bert and Ernie.
Bert and Ernie, man. Yeah, they slept in the same room. Two adult males sleeping in the same room. What more do we need? It's the absolute most ridiculous
gay
thing.
icons, Dale.
They are. They truly are gay icons, and they should be because they were there. They were put there as they are in this movie to normalize something that is otherwise completely fucking normal. Like, it's what is so weird is how primitive a society we actually live in.
I know, we totally regressed.
Same-sex relationships have been going on since humanity has begun. Since the beginning of humanity.
Erica corrected me. 3 Men and a Baby.
Yeah, it was 3 Men and a Baby. That, some kinky shit. All right,
you mean to tell me there was nothing going on behind closed doors?
2 Men and a Baby? Ted Danson's
3 men
I was in that
co-parenting.
movie. Wasn't that Bruce Willis?
Anyway, It's all about fear, right? Like, the only reason why any of these people have this bigoted attitude is because they don't understand it, and they're not able to reconcile the discomfort they feel about their inability to understand these things. And so it just manifests as fear, as like this.
Erica, I have to interrupt because Erica called the 3 men a thruple.
A thruple.
A thruple. Well, it's a thruple because it's a couple. Oh, a thruple is good. That's straight up. It's so readable too. That could show up in a fucking in a book in a minute.
It's really funny. It's true. We've totally regressed. I don't know that...
it's ridiculous.
Like, Terrence Stamp recently passed away, and they were making a sequel. It was in pre-production, so I don't know how far along they got, but they were making a sequel of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys have ever seen this movie, but it's fucking incredible. It's so good. And it was in the 90s, and they made a movie about these drag queens that travel across the deserts of Australia, not Africa, Australia together, and their friendship.
Same difference.
A few years later, there was To Julie Newmar, Thanks for Everything. What is that called?
Yeah.
Thanks for Everything, Julie. What is it called?
Have a fucking nice day, Julie Newmar.
Whatever. That was another one. It had Patrick Swayze, had John Leguizamo, and it had Wesley Snipes.
Robin Williams was in that movie.
It had Wesley Snipes, and they were also drag queens on a road trip.
Yeah. Well, everyone knew that was like they were trying to cash in on this.
Yes, but it was like a thing. It was like a bunch of movies that came out in the 90s, and nobody cared. Nobody batted an eye. Nobody was like protesting. Nobody was like making it the fucking conversation. It didn't run 24/7 on fucking Fox News. We've regressed.
We have regressed.
It didn't used to be a big deal.
No.
None of this shit used to be a big deal before like a political party decided they wanted to create.
We finally got to the point where we were getting past it. It was a part
culture
of why
war shit.
It was a part of why that stuff was in Dawn's Plump. You know, like where they're talking about all the LGBTQ stuff, right? And they're breaking down the tropes and because there had been like ostensibly there'd been like breakthroughs.
Yeah.
They're gone now. Lisa Timms is here, and she said she emailed me, but you got it sent back. I was like, I guess Lisa Timms doesn't want a book. Well, fine then, Lisa. You don't get a book. No, I'm kidding. Of course you'll get a book. Please send me.
Oh, thank you, Erica. To Wong Fu. Thanks for everything, Julie Newmar.
Yeah.
What a stupid title.
I saw it I went and saw it in the movie theaters.
I know. I watched both those movies. I loved them. They were really adorable.
What, Birdcage?
No, Birdcage is different.
I didn't like it.
Birdcage, I don't think that they were in drag in Birdcage. They were just very flamboyant and very well dressed gay men. You didn't like Birdcage?
I didn't like any of them. Those
Really?
ones. No, Priscilla I loved.
Priscilla was great.
And I loved Hedwig.
Hedwig is another one. That was much later, so that was...
But Hedwig and the Angry Inch was fucking the bomb.
Yep. We didn't used to culturally have this, like, collective hissy fit every time somebody showed up in drag.
The gay movie that hit me hard was a movie called Priest. Have you ever seen it? Damn. That movie, bro. That movie.
What year is it?
That would have been like in the 2000s, probably like early 2000s, maybe to mid.
2011?
Oh, really? Could have been that late? No, it wouldn't have been that late. No.
Horror action movie?
No, it's not horror. It's
that
LGBTQ.
That one looks cool, though. I'm going to say this. Priest. 1994?
Erica said that her married gay best friends, they love The Birdcage. They quote it incessantly.
I know. It's a great movie.
I'll watch it again.
I like the Hank Azaria character.
I just remember, I say I didn't like it. I didn't like it at the time. Don't ask me why.
Oh, this is it. 1994, Priest.
94.
The Reverend Greg Pilkington is homosexual and a Roman Catholic priest who takes his vows and his love of God seriously when a young girl confesses to him that her father has been abusing her. Pilkington is overcome with protective rage and feels that he must break the secrecy rules binding the confessional in order to stop the abuse. That sounds awesome.
It's a great movie. It's a great movie. It was like, when that movie came out, I was like, this is so good for the community because it was such a departure from, it was like, it wasn't about, the alternative lifestyle, even if it was.
Oh, this is an English movie. BBC Films?
I don't remember.
Edinburgh International Film Festival.
All I know is that it's a badass movie. That's
the country's United Kingdom.
Cool.
I was like, this sounds like really awesome. I bet it's not American. I went looking for what European country put this out.
There's some damn good American films out there. What you talking about?
I don't know that they were doing this in the 90s. This looks great. I don't know where.
Who was doing the LGBTQ thing in the 90s in LA?
No, but it was comedy.
Yeah, it was a lot of comedy.
They weren't going to do a drama like this. Not in the 90s. Lately, yes. This one, Priest 1994, is available on Amazon Prime Video.
Is it? But it's probably like you got to buy it.
Are you gonna do?
Speaking of which, before we move on to anything, this weekend we watched some movies. First of all, let me first say that you should Peacock can go to hell.
Peacock streaming service
can go to hell
for movies.
They interrupted our movie. I don't even know how many times it was.
Like 6 times.
6, 7 times.
It was
with ads, and they're really horrible interruptions too, right in the middle of stuff. And we were watching a horror movie, wasn't it? What were we watching? It was this movie it was bad.
I know.
It was a fucking terrible movie. What was it called?
But some streaming services will interrupt with ads, and they'll put a little title card first, and a little pleasant, little polite sound that says your ads are about to begin. So you're not completely right whiplashed out of your film,
Yeah. So the second movie we watched, I brought Angela all the way back to 1983, and we watched Bad Boys starring Sean Penn.
Sean Penn, was it his first film?
It was not his first film, no, but it might have been his first actual leading role in a film. He was in Taps before that.
Oh, we saw Taps.
Yeah.
When was that?
the week before. Well, Taps was 81.
I can't even remember. I'm really bad at this.
Taps was 81 or 82, but it was definitely before.
Okay.
So anyway, Bad Boys, starring Sean Penn. You can see it on Prime right now for free. It's a fucking great movie. Like, it held up entirely for me. I didn't ask you this because I was just gonna put it on you live, but you know, what are you giving it? What are you giving it?
Taps?
Yeah, no. What are you giving?
Bad Boys.
Bad Boys on 5 stars.
Stars or tiny pineapples?
Well, tiny pineapples. I'm sorry, 5 tiny pineapples.
5 tiny pineapples.
How many
I am
tiny
giving it a 3.
3. Wow.
Yes.
I'm a little heartbroken by that.
You're heartbroken?
A little bit. I give it 4.
4.
Solid 4. Big, bright, shiny 4. Some of the best writing that you can really find in movies. I mean, some of the writing is so exquisite in terms of the subtle way in which things are set up, the perfect follow through on those setups. Like, it is really extraordinary writing, and it shaped me as a writer. So that's probably why I have the bias. It's also definitely like a male-driven movie, right? It's a prison movie, ostensibly.
It's told from the male gaze.
It's male
so
gazy movie.
Absurd. I liked the movie. I recommend that people watch it just because Sean Penn is incredible in it, and he's so young. He's like a baby.
He's incredible in it.
Also, like, there's a bunch of other young actors, like sub 20 years old actors that are like amazing.
Dude, the guy who plays Horowitz is so amazing, and it's really the only role he actually did, and yet he was fucking awesome in it.
I think that it would be a really good double feature with One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Because especially if you show it first, because they both take place like inside of an institution.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think that
it goes good with Taps too.
The reason why I liked the Bad Boys so much was because I just really love old movies and the way that the camera and the score and the lighting.
Yeah, it's a Bill Conti
It's
score.
always like practical lighting too. Like, they're not using practical lightings anymore.
There's some of the cinematography in this movie is so stunning.
Yeah, it's
just
perfect.
absolutely fucking gorgeous. You know, it was it was during a phase when there was a lot of like shots where it was frame within a frame, and so that frame usually a window. In this case, he did this absolutely gorgeous shot on sticks outside, and he shot so the subject's walking down the sidewalk, and he catches her in through the windshield and passenger and driver's side windows, her passing through on a pan. It was fucking sick, man, sick.
Yeah, they're just not doing that stuff in these films anymore. And
it's and you can tell, you can feel it, especially when like these cinematographers and these directors, they really had like a vision for the flow of these ideas. So they weren't just like what you do get a lot of are these big oneers and stuff like these, like, big long one shot, you get a lot of that, huh?
Now?
Yeah. You get all these like trick shots. Whereas like back then it was like they would do a fancy shot, for lack of a better term, but something more elaborate, an elaborate shot. There you go. And
it would be like on a crane.
But it would have like a larger purpose. Like, it didn't just,
right.
I argued in my book about with RD because they wanted to put this fucking dolly shot, together and take up half a goddamn day for one shot. And the cost versus reward just wasn't there.
Yeah.
And there was no motivation for it. It was
I
why?
agree.
What's going on? Who's spinning around the table?
I also just prefer like older movies because the camera is stationary, and it really lets you just like get immersed into the scene. Like if the people in the scene are like seated in a room, but the camera that you're supposedly watching from is like handheld and keeps moving and like breathing constantly, like it keeps me from being immersed as if I'm also seated and watching still in the scene,
Yeah, yeah.
So I just think maybe that's the difference between like digital and film. Like in 1983 or whatever Bad Boys was shot.
Yeah.
Maybe they were using film cameras, and so they were limited, and they had to really deliberately plan every shot, and maybe that's why it turned out better. I don't know. But it seems like now everybody wants to do like handheld And I just personally prefer to not have that much movement in scenes that take place like if you're outside on a street or something or in a train station or whatever, like, yes, have movement. Everybody's moving. Everything's moving around. But when you're supposed to just be like observing two people talking in a room and they're both seated and nobody's moving around, like the camera should be still too.
It's always about the type of movement. The movement in Breaking the Waves is breathtaking. The movement in Gaspar Noé's Irreversible will make you as sick as the scene itself. Like if you're doing it right, if you're using the camera right, if you're doing handheld shots because you want movement, then you're doing it fucking wrong. If you're swinging your camera around on a dolly because you want something fancy in your fucking movie, then you're doing it wrong. Because these shots should have motivations. Now, what I loved about that shot yesterday, where I'm talking about them shooting on sticks and seeing the subject walking down the sidewalk and catching her on a pan that leads through these windshields of these far off vehicles. Brilliant fucking shot. Well, I look for that. Like I have I'm designing my a single channel that's just me called Dale, like on writing, Dale's writing room, and one of the things that I'm talking about is like natural motivation for things, or seeing and creating those through seeing life cinematically. So if I'm on a street, I look for that. Like I look for that opportunity to see somebody walking through a car like that. I'll look for these like beautiful shots, but just as my eyes, through my gaze, which is a 50 millimeter lens, by the way. Okay.
But that's how you train up your, they say people develop a photographer's eye. It takes training and practice and stuff. You have to constantly just be like scrutinizing what you're looking at and shifting your focus in order to catch the framing that makes it more compositionally sound, that's just practice. I think it's really cool. If once you start developing that, you'll do it all over the place all the time.
Well, what I really like about it is it does do that. And I think that's an extremely valuable thing for any creative, but it also creates, it's almost like an archive, a library, if you will, of references for motivations for those kinds of shots. Because if the shot doesn't have a motivation, if it doesn't make sense, like I'm watching somebody and they just happen to walk past a car through which window, or through the windows I was able to see, you know what I mean? That makes sense, as opposed to me trying to set the shot up, because everything was natural about it. The camera was just panning. It was just perfect filmmaking. So it made this beautiful shot out of something completely natural, something that my eyes could have done. That's just such perfection. To me, that's just such perfection. And it's hard to find in films today, where a lot of filmmakers, they go to school and they learn, and they learn about motivations, but they learn them from MFAs who don't have a fucking clue about what's really going on. Half the shit that I heard from MFAs were just interpretations that were completely fucking off the wall compared to what the actual filmmaker was going through. You know what I mean? In most cases, at least.
Mm-hmm.
So unless you hear it from the filmmaker, half the time, these MFAs, they sit around and kind of just create stuff out of their own theories.
I used to be a fan of like specific like cinematographers and specific editors, and I can't remember them anymore because I was like a million years ago. But I want to do that again. I want to get to know like who is out there doing it now that is doing really great work like that. Like really nice. What?
Cosmic Urgency.
Oh, sweet. Welcome back.
With asking questions about did I like or did you like But I'm a Cheerleader. I saw it. Is that with Joel Mickley? Oh my God.
But I'm a Cheerleader?
Yeah, I saw it.
What is that?
It's a movie. Oh, dude, you're starting to freak me out a little bit. But I'm a Cheerleader.
Lisa Thames.
Clea
Am I saying that right?
Duvall is in there.
Dale.
Are you Clea? What?
Lisa Thames? Is that how you say it?
Lisa Timms.
Timms?
Yeah.
Okay. Said Dale's writing room. Love it. Can't wait.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. I'm really excited about it, man. We're gonna do some. I'm doing some. Look, it's just all about me getting this gear up and all this stuff, and then once it's up and going, it's gonna be super, super fun.
Erica said, "I love, but I'm a Cheerleader." I haven't heard of this. What is this? Am I missing out?
It's a movie with Natasha Lyonne, Clea Duvall.
Huh.
I can't remember my attachment to this thing. Bud Cord is in it, actually. Did I? obviously I knew, I met Natasha Lyonne a bunch of times, and I knew Clea Duvall.
Dale, listen.
God damn it. Joel Michel's in it. I told you. I remember this movie. What?
Dale, Austin, 111, whatever, bunch of ones.
Yeah.
Said, I can't with Gaspar Noé. I almost threw up in the opening shot.
Listen, that movie is so special.
That's a strategy, to get your audience primed for the film.
If that movie...
For those of you guys who don't know, that he opens up Irreversible, which I do not recommend that you watch with anybody else. By the way, it is not a fucking date movie or your parents or anybody else. But he opens up the film by like spiraling the camera, like for a while, like a long time. Makes people seasick, carsick.
It is so intense.
But it sets you up. It puts you in the mood for what you're about to endure.
But I'm a cheerleader. Yeah, I did like But I'm a Cheerleader. I liked it fine. I remember the script, man, and because I remember. Well, so actually, I can't. Oh,
they're saying it's a movie about conversion therapy for gay teens.
I can't remember if. Yeah, I do. I remember it. I think that's how I met Clea.
Huh.
Because Clea, I think, became friends with Joel Micheley, and then so she had another friend, and they were over all the time. And I remember when Clea Duvall, she got like her first big paycheck from a gig, and she was like, I have $3,000 in my bank account.
Yikes.
She was so excited.
Oh, she was excited about it?
Yeah, she loved it. She was like,
I thought she was working and that it wasn't amounting to much.
Well, she had like a balance. She was like, this is the first time I've ever had like she's like, I'll go to my bank account and there's money in it.
Dude, I have a friend who was an actor, and he landed at like a huge show, multiple seasons. And when I knew him, he was visiting the food pantry, and he was worried about getting evicted from his apartment, and he was like working constantly and just trying to hustle an acting career, and then he finally made it. It's like there's so many of those stories.
Yes.
I feel like that's one of the reasons why a lot of big actors are actually super fucking cool, because they've been like scraping by in like service industry jobs for like decades before they finally hit.
Even Jeremy, Jeremy like Sisto, he like worked since he was 16 years old, but he had some tough times,
Yep.
He had some days, he had some months where he was like, shit, am I going to make it, So yeah, totally.
Okay, we have some other recommendations here. I don't know why Austin 111 is recommending Whitewater Summer, Kevin Bacon and Sean Austin. Do you know that one?
No, but I'm going to probably want to see that. It's called Whitewater Summer. Have you ever been on whitewaters? Like rafting?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's so
when
amazing.
I was much younger, before I knew that it was such a bad idea, and I don't know why anybody took me. I could have been lost at sea. Not at sea, obviously. But
did I know Clea during
they're
the
so
faculty?
dangerous.
Let me check. I knew her through this, and let me see. Clea Duvall. I was thinking about her the other day, as a matter of fact. I had a really nice relationship with her. I enjoyed her company very much. And I'm trying to remember her friend's name now. It started with an M. Let me see. She was on The Handmaid's Tale. That's a good spot for her. She was on The Newsroom. That's wild. John Gallagher.
Here's another question.
Yeah, let's see.
I don't understand this one.
Great.
Austin is asking, what do you think about interactive books, mixed media reference and throwback and soundtracks as a viable expression?
Yeah, I think it's totally cool.
What is this?
I also love, like, if you want to go throwback, that's the, choose your own adventure. Choose your own, what do you call it?
Mixed media reference and throwback and soundtracks?
I think I understand
Interactive
that.
books?
Yeah. Mixed media, meaning like, you're reading, you're listening, you're watching.
That's cool.
I would imagine.
Oh, kind of like there's some video games that you play that are like very story driven, where you do a lot of reading, right?
Yeah, most of my games are reading books, like some of them have, like Skyrim has something like the equivalent of 350 books in it or something.
Oh wow!
You can't read it all without fucking.
So you think it's a viable expression? Is the question?
Yeah, I definitely do. I think, first of all, I don't believe in any kind of restriction in terms of like, expression.
As long as it's not AI generated or stolen. Then, it's all good.
Exactly. Anyway, did I know her for faculty? I don't think I did. I think I kind of, it was like, see, Girl Interrupted. I knew her through that because I also knew, what's his name from that? And I knew one of the actors.
Cosmic Urgency wants to know, did you see the Christmas movie that Clea directed, Happiest Season, he thinks? I haven't, but I'm gonna this December.
No.
Do you watch Christmas movies? Aside from like Christmas Story and...
No, I don't.
Is that a thing that you do like every holiday season? Like you have to get in your Christmas mood and watch your Christmas content? Do you do that?
I knew everybody in this fucking movie. Girl Interrupted. Did you see Girl Interrupted?
Yes.
It's crazy. I didn't know Winona Ryder, but or Angelina Jolie, but Clea DuVall, Brittany Murphy, who else? Was it Christina Myers? Anyway, doesn't matter. Sorry, I'm falling down a rabbit hole. Mm-hmm. Hi, guys. What was your question?
Cosmic Urgency was asking about Christmas movies. And so I was asking you about Christmas movies.
I don't really watch Christmas movies now. Not anymore. Did you ever? Were you ever a Christmas movie person?
I have. Most of my life, I've been anti-Christmas.
Really?
But yeah, because I come from a family where Christmas was always like really contentious and hostile situation. Like it was, getting the family together was like bad news.
Yeah.
So it was like all the adults were really fucking stressed out, and there was like all this drama happened. Mm-hmm. So like I spent my whole life like trying to avoid like Christmas stuff, and then like just recently I was like, wait a second, if I just like engage in like the pagan holiday of Yule instead of Christmas,
no pain,
I get to have all of the fun Christmas stuff with none of the fucking Santa, consumerism bullshit. Yeah. It's so consumerist. I think that's part of the problem, is that I think there was so much family stress going on because it's a really stressful holiday.
Yeah.
Especially for like women in the family. There's so much labor involved in Christmas. So I always just kind of rejected it until recently. So it was very recently that you and I started celebrating Christmas. And I don't know that I want to really engage with like Christmas movies because I don't know.
I mean, I don't mind them.
Unless they're like, different.
I used to love them.
Christmas horror movies I could get into.
I loved Miracle on 34th Street.
You do?
I loved Frosty the Snowman.
You're such a sap.
I loved Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I loved Scrooged. I loved A Christmas Carol. I loved the George C. Scott one.
Scrooge is really good.
Original one.
Scrooge is really good. And of course, all the Muppet ones are really good. A
Christmas Story was one of my favorite Christmas movies of all time. Totally spoiled by knowing Artie Robb now, but I used to love it, dearly.
I like how you wrote about it in your book.
Yeah.
Very much.
It was a funny moment in my life. So I used to absolutely crave them. What was the other one? Miracle on 34th Street. But where's the one where, what was the one? It's a black and white old classic. I used to love it, where they put a man on trial for being Santa Claus. I'm trying to remember what that one was. I used to love it.
No clue.
Yeah, he's on trial. They're putting him on trial because he's a fraud, I guess. I can't remember.
I can't get with the Santa tradition.
I loved It's a Wonderful Life.
I also have very, very strong feelings about this fucking elf on the shelf shit. And I feel like that that's just like I have a conspiracy theory that it's, a psyop to get everybody indoctrinated and accepting of in-home surveillance.
Well, it's a done
From
deal.
A young age, you
have
like
this cameras pointing at me everywhere right now.
Oh, I know.
The camera there, camera there. You got a camera.
But people
over
are like
there.
playing their Elf on the Shelf games with their kids, and I'm like, you're surveilling your children and making a joke out of it. This isn't funny. Fucking cut that
Was
shit
it Miracle
out.
on 34th Street? Was the guy on trial?
No.
No, because that's Miracle on 34th Street was Jimmy Stewart. Right?
Yeah.
Isn't that one? Oh, no, that's It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh.
You're right. It is a Miracle on 34th Street. It's a Miracle on 34th Street.
The miracle is that he actually is Santa Claus?
It's so fucking great, dude. I cried so hard in that movie. Cried multiple times.
So Dale loves Christmas.
Well, I did. I used to. My dad, my dad.
Christmas was the magical
I had a difficult
holiday.
history with my dad, but Christmas Day was not one of the.
Yeah.
It was like it was a day he shined on those days.
I love that about you. It's so cute. You turn into like a little boy when you talk about Christmas. It's fucking adorable.
Oh, I was like, I had all of it. I used to be the kid who like, we'd have I'd wake up and then I would go down to the tree, which was always lit. because my parents were like, "Oh fuck, if it burns down, it burns down," and the tree would be lit. And then obviously my parents had put out the Santa gifts by then, and we weren't allowed to touch them until my dad got up. My dad was a pain in the ass to get up, so I would just fall asleep by my gifts. You know, just lay there in a fetal position with just staring at them, you know, knowing that like within hours, they're going to be mine. And I would just fall asleep until, you know,
That's really cute.
whatever, 8 or 9. And then I'd get up and run upstairs and then jump all over that fucking bed until he got out of bed.
Did you ever peek? Did you ever
Bad
peek?
Santa's brilliant.
Did you ever peek at your gifts?
Bad Santa might be my favorite standing Christmas movie right now, actually.
Really?
Oh, I love it so much.
Huh.
Billy Bob's just absolutely, just 100%.
I would watch like The Ref again.
I love The Ref.
The Ref is a good one.
That was one of my favorites forever. Fucking Judy Davis. But, I mean, that whole cast.
So like I could be like a Scrooge, you know, but there's some Christmas movies that are cool. I don't like the ones that are like really sincere about it though. Like I'm not interested in like the Christmas romance movies or the fucking Hallmark shit. Like I can't.
No. But I did like, and you know this. I was like, but I liked the one where they're in the airport. The hub, the airport's the hub to all the stories.
I don't know that one.
Oh yeah, you do. You don't like it. You know it. You don't like it.
I don't know that I've seen
And
it.
I quite love it. It's the
probably
one where
haven't
they're in the airport. They're the airports. The airport. They're in the fucking airport.
I
All the
heard-
different stories.
I heard
it's
the
a whole
word.
bunch of short stories, and the hub is the airport, and it's Christmas. People are trying to get home for the holidays. What the fuck? I think Keira Knightley or something is in it.
Oh, Love Actually?
Love Actually. I like that.
That involves an airport?
Yeah, that whole
I definitely avoided that movie. I was like, this looks like one of the ones where like the climactic scene is that somebody receives a really expensive gift.
I loved it.
It's just like consumerist propaganda.
I fucking loved that movie 100%.
Isn't that the one where she is confronted by her stalker and then she thinks it's romantic?
I don't know about that.
The one where he's like holding up the
I might have had a different view of stalkers at the time. So it's possible.
I recall somebody saying that one was especially problematic.
I got more for you, I'm sure.
Christmas in August.
Christmas in August.
Well, we're in overtime. I don't know. Do you want to continue?
Let me see if I've got anything else here. Well, you know, since Cosmic Urgency is here, we can put a couple extra minutes in. We don't know when we'll get them back.
Erica said, I hate Elf on the Shelf. Yes, Angela, absolutely the same.
Well, by the way, Elf is like a great Christmas movie.
Yeah, that was pretty cute.
I mean, come on, forget about it. Bob Newhart is in it. That makes it great right there.
Yep.
And he plays an elf. And if you're ever going to Love Actually, exactly, Shannon. I loved it, actually. I thought it was great. I would watch it again with you. Not now, though.
No.
So, by the way, we are going to go here, but before we do, we watched Bad Boys with Sean Penn. Highly recommend it. Angela gives it 3 tiny pineapples. I give it 4 tiny pineapples.
Why, how come not 5? You love it so
I would
much.
give it 4.5, actually. Well,
what's it going to take to give a movie 5?
A lot. It's not perfect. It's not a perfect movie because there are some flaws. There's some flaws in the sound design. There was a couple blips there, and there's a couple little things, whatever. But it's such a great and solid movie, and I couldn't recommend it more. And it's also a movie that highly influenced me as a writer. And I think you can tell when you watch it. I think you should be able to tell just by the way in which the drama works, how the story is deeply rooted in love and all that stuff. So, it's just kind of my thing. Our next movie from my shelf is State of Grace. So I'm staying with Sean Penn.
Okay.
So if you guys are interested in this one, this is a 1990 classic with Sean Penn and Gary Oldman.
Do you think that they're like a double feature or no?
Yeah, you can put these back to back for sure. Yeah,
They're
very different, but they're very dramatic. And
Bad
Sean
Boys
Penn's,
is long though. It's like over 2 hours. So I don't know. Is that long? Not anymore, huh? Everybody makes 3-hour movies now.
it can be long. It's a little long. Yeah, Scrooge was my favorite.
That's a really, really special movie.
I did a TikTok, The Miracle Can Happen to You, because I had one of my fucking, what do they called it? One of my, it was like a slideshow. Yeah. One of my slideshows on TikTok it went to like
You almost went viral?
Yeah, well, I got like viral, like a couple 100,000 or whatever views. Scrooge and Love Actually, The Elf. I love Elf. I would go see Elf right now if it was in the theaters in August and there was no COVID. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day and he was like, "Are you serious? Are you trying? You haven't been in a restaurant in 5 years?" And I was like, "Correct." And he's like, "You haven't been anywhere in 5 years?" And I was like, "We have not been anywhere in 5 years. We have been home for 5 straight years. We do go grocery shopping, but and he can't believe it. He is not he cannot believe it."
I should say that it really helps.
This many times I've had COVID.
I should say that it really helps that we don't really like where we live. So it's not like we're missing out on like a bunch of really fun stuff.
Well, it's true. It's not that so much that I don't like where I live as much as I have no social life here anyway to pursue. There's nothing I want to pursue here in terms.
I'm not really interested in going out here, and the restaurants here fucking suck anyways.
They're not great.
All the years that we spent before we decided to do this quarantine have been constant disappointment with the quality of the restaurants around here. So avoiding eating out has not been such a big deal. For me, at least.
Cosmic is asking if it's true that Tobey Maguire dropped acid on the set of Empire Records and had a mental breakdown and then got fired and Johnny Whitworth had to drive him to the hospital. I don't believe that's true, but I don't know for sure.
Does it sound true?
I knew them both at the time and never once did that story ever make it to my ears.
Oh, so it's probably just like
And I knew Johnny Whitworth very well and I knew Tobey even better.
That seems like it's probably like distorted from, the game of telephone of so many years because Tobey was in trouble for transporting marijuana through an airport, right?
Yeah, he had a bag on him when he was going to Empire Records and he got arrested.
So maybe
Texas,
people have just
a connecting flight in Texas and Dallas.
Maybe people are just conflating that and making up new stories.
I know that he got arrested and then what happened was my understanding is that he got arrested, and then he flew in to do the movie. We had these legal problems now, and he just was like, you know what? I'm not into this. He felt something was amiss with the project and his involvement in it. I didn't know him well at that time because that was right when I got there.
Yeah,
Empire Records happened pretty quickly, so I didn't know him a whole bunch. But I would think it's entirely possible that I didn't. But I would think I would have heard from either one of them.
Yeah, that's a really big story. So
because that's just huge.
I feel like you would have heard it too.
Especially like I was dropping LSD in fucking Hollywood. Like it was like my LSD renaissance because I tripped out like crazy when I was like a teenager, 15, 16, 17. I was like taking purple megadot like people were taking Tylenol. I was just like dup dup dup. Holy fuck! Look at the world is weird.
I believe that's inadvisable.
Oh, I had a great time.
To do that as like a young
I would
teenager.
highly. I probably did like 75
in terms of like your brain
hits.
development.
I disagree. I actually think it's the reason why I'm so goddamn brilliant.
You tapped in.
But, I stopped probably like age 17. It was it. I was like kind of rap.
Erica's leaving.
And then, goodbye, Erica. Thank you for being with us this evening.
Hope you all have a great night. Good night, Erica.
Yeah, I know we're way over. And then I went into my second renaissance. Maybe what I'll do is I'll read that acid scene that I cut.
Tomorrow?
Maybe I'll read that tomorrow. Okay, I don't know if you left it with Erica, but you'll be back tomorrow anyway, hopefully. I'm going to read tomorrow, if I'm reminded to, the acid scene.
That you deleted?
That I deleted. It's me and Scott Bloom and a bunch of others. And I'll read that for you guys tomorrow. It's a cut scene, so it's not in the book. Ooh, exclusive.
Shannon was in Austin. We're like, I thought you guys were talking about Will Smith's Bad Boys.
Well,
dude, when Dale was like, I picked a perfect movie. I can't wait to show it to you. This movie means so much to me. It really formed who I was as a filmmaker. And then he started started typing it in to the streaming service. And I saw Bad Boys come up. I was like, no fucking way. Because I too thought that it was Will Smith's Bad Boys, but it wasn't. It was the earlier one.
When Will Smith's Bad Boys when Will Smith's Bad Boys came out, I was like, oh, this is such a bad thing. This is such a bad look. Oh well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what a great night. Thank you for hanging out with us on Monday. We'll see if the news pumps us full of joyful topics. But if not tomorrow, we'll just bring you a bunch more of the same. We'll just chew on whatever crud the world has to offer. By the way, I heard that somebody's not doing well medically, and
Oh, yeah.
I'm really excited about it personally, like in ways that I can't really describe. But yeah, just hear there's like some problems with some guy getting like intravenously. I don't know. It's just, but there's like a lot of like I don't know, optimism around it.
I know everybody's got hope,
Like hope around, yeah.
but just vaguely. We're not going to specify what we're talking about.
The way I look at it is this: I go into the fridge, I open it up, I take out the cream for the coffee, and I look at the expiration date. If it's expired, I throw it out. You know, things expire. You know, that's how I look at it. He's expiring. Yay! All right, good night, guys. You're the best. See you tomorrow. Dale's like they're like Dale's losing it today.
No.
See you tomorrow, guys.